This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are well off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. In this episode, Sean Archer is here to chat about two very different types of sci-fi movies, Donnie Darko and Doom. Welcome!
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, you are. I know. But I mean, before we started doing this, I was like, we like to jibber jabber about movies, so it's fine.
Yeah. It is very true.
Yes, we did a lot of chatting before we even started, and then we're just like, what are we doing? This is solid gold. Just get it back in there.
Yeah, Tracy's word of the day. I was learning about that.
Yes.
Words of the day, sorry.
I know. I get a word of the day in my email every day, and most of the time I forget them, but every once in a while I remember them. It's really good. And I was explaining Taciturn, and my favorite word of the day, which was Noctilucent. I was explaining that. And then for some reason we're talking about something being Akimbo, and you said a word too that I was like, what? And well, I knew what the word was, but it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, look, smart things.
I couldn't remember where Akimbo I know it from, and I think I do now. I think you have told me before, because it's doing this with your hands, right? Like Yeah. Okay, I think you told me like at a board game night or something. Yeah.
So, and then we actually looked up the origin of the word Akimbo, because for some reason, apparently as soon as something has a K and an O in it, I think it's African. But apparently it's Old Norse, and that was moved into Middle English. It's very exciting.
Oh.
But yes, there you go.
You do Word of the Day podcast.
Yeah, oh my God. Please.
One podcast a day, and then one every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, no. No, I imagine like just having a podcast about words, and you have like one every other day, and it's a 10-minute podcast. Be like, oh, I heard this word today. It's this word. I wonder where it came from. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I have a bunch of history podcasts that are 10 minutes long, and they're great. They're just little bites, like bite size, good for a shower.
Yeah, I wonder if that exists. Now I have to look that up, and then maybe come up with it and pick random words. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, talk about it. What does this word mean to you?
I know, right? Actually, tell you the truth, like one of my favorite categories on Jeopardy is word origins.
Oh, God.
I love that category. It's actually one of the easier categories for me, because if you understand half of the word, you can figure out what the origin of the word is or what the meaning is. Yeah. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, literature and word origins are some of my worst ones. Probably science.
I'm definitely not good at literature, which is surprising because I read a lot. But the problem is, like with a lot of TV shows, with a lot of TV shows, I don't learn people's names very well. So like TV shows and movies, unless it's like a series of movies or a series of books, I tend to forget their names. But I can tell you everything about the storyline. I'm very much into like the storyline, because that's kind of the way I learned in school too. Like I'm very like a tactile or theory learner. So like, don't tell me 2 + 2 is 4. That doesn't do anything for me. But say, if you have 2 of these things and you have 2 of these things and you bring them together, that is addition, and this is why this equals 4. Then I'll remember, and I'll be fine, So in school I was really good at like the sciences and math, but really horrible at like biology and history, because all of those were just memorization of like dates and times.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, so all the literary, not to jump ahead, but the literary stuff in Donnie Darko, I was like, who is this author? I don't know. Who are they talking about? I watched some YouTube videos to, learn up on it.
Yeah, that's true. Like what's the 2 books they talk about in this?
The author's Graham Greene.
Yes.
And it's the one where the kids burn down the house and burn all the money.
So I
to forget the name of it.
I've heard of the authors.
Yeah.
But they're both authors and books I had never read.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't really like with a lot of the people in the movie, they couldn't really connect with the content.
Yeah.
That was being put forth.
Johnny though.
Yeah. Well, he's a smart kid. He's a little off kilter, but he's a smart kid, right? But yeah, like the thing is, watching I realized I haven't watched this in a while, but I used to watch this movie pretty regularly, and I forgot how weird the cast for this movie is.
Yes.
It is such a weird cast. I love the way I wrote it down. This is horrible. This is how I wrote down who the cast is for this movie. I'm like, you got the Gyllenhaals, you got Point Break, you got the kid from E.T., you got Dr. Carter, the first lady from Independence Day, and the lady who got run over in Speed. I mean, can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, she is. She's the one. Oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to picture what I knew her from.
But the thing is, everything that woman is in, she's a horrible person in it. Maybe she just has a face for it. I don't know. Yeah. Or maybe she has a face for it because she's always done those types of roles. But every time I see her, and I'm like, you're a bad person. That's the first thing I think.
Well, you also missed a few too. You missed President. Is it Caroline from Battlestar Galactica? It's President something. Donnie's mother is the president. Oh, did you say her?
Yeah, she's the first lady from Independence Day.
First lady. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, she's more famous for that. Good point. But did you say Seth Rogen?
That's further down. That
blew my mind when he showed up.
Is that Seth Rogen? It's just one of my notes. So, yeah. Because
like you, I've watched this movie many times, but I haven't seen it in a decade.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that has like a spattering of people that you will like recognize that either got really famous or they're like character actors, so you just kind of know who they are. And I was just like, oh my god. Well, because even I should have looked that up before we got on here, but the girl who played his girlfriend,
Jena Malone.
Yeah, what is she from? For some reason I couldn't picture what she was from.
What do I know her from? I can't remember. But I know her. She's actually been in a lot of things. There's one specific thing we probably both know her from that she's really famous for.
It's probably this is what the problem is.
I know her from something else though.
She was in the Hunger Games. She was in Contact. She was in Neon Demons, but I didn't see Neon Demons, which is something I really should watch.
Well, I remember watching this as a kid. I had a huge crush on her because of this movie.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, she's so damaged. I can fix her.
She was in Sucker Punch.
Yep, yeah, she was, but
I literally cannot picture her.
It must just be this movie then. I think you're right. She's in The Ruins, which is a really good horror movie, but you're right. It must be Donnie Darko.
She was the daughter and stepmom.
Okay. Because, I was obsessed with this movie in high school or university, whenever this came out.
This came out in...
Definitely over 20 years.
2001, so we're at like 19 years, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was 19. Oh okay.
That makes me feel so old, but it's fine.
Because we are.
Because we are, yes.
Oh, do we even say what movie we watched?
Yeah, Donnie Darko.
Okay.
We said Donnie Darko.
All right.
I think. Well, if you don't know, we're talking about Donnie Darko. All right, yes.
It's such a great movie, but I don't know if... How do I say this? I don't know if it's a good movie or not. Does it make sense at all?
It makes a little bit of sense. I think it does make a little bit of sense. Watching it this time, it made more sense to me now than I think it ever did before.
I had questions that I never thought of before.
Well,
okay, so this is random, but the character, what's her name, Chen? The one who showed, Is she an angel? Or is she supposed to represent an angel?
No, she's supposed to represent a person who does not conform.
Okay, because she's in the movie in very weird scenes.
Yeah, but the thing is that Donnie Darko is lost, and he is looking for acceptance and for love. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that that girl, she's in love with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Because he sticks up for her.
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit more than that, because I think from the moment you meet her, like at the bus stop, and they show up and she's with like the sister and they're waiting for the bus, and all she says is shut up the whole time. I actually think she's already in love with him.
Well, she's like an outsider like him.
Yes.
So I think that's why he relates to her.
Yeah, but he doesn't recognize her as one of as like him, if you know what I mean, until the very end.
But like with her and this is the first time I ever watched this movie, and I noticed all the God stuff.
Yes, there's a lot of religions.
Like it is like, so then I was wondering, is he not Jesus? Is this a Jesus allegory? Is this sacrificing himself for the world. Like,
No, I don't think this.
I never thought of that before.
I don't think this is a Jesus allegory. I think this is more a condemnation of religion than a allegory to religion, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because during this time, wasn't this during the whole like taking down the church and all this kind of.
This is 1998. I definitely noticed I also didn't notice before. Like George Bush is running against Dukakis.
Yeah, this movie takes place in 1988.
88, sorry. Did I say 98? I meant 88, yeah.
88. And, I forgot that this was like a quote-unquote period piece.
Yeah, me too. There's a lot of stuff about suburbia in this and middle-class conservatism, which I never noticed before either. Mm-hmm. So this viewing, and then the whole parallel universe stuff I was thinking about, and I watched some videos on YouTube because I was confused. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if it's a time travel movie. It's more of a traveling between parallel universes movie. According to these videos I watched.
No, I actually think it is a time. It's both, right? Yeah. So what I got from the movie was the fact that Donnie Darko learns from this book from Grandma Death. I'm calling her Madam Death, which I don't know, whatever. That people have been looking at time travel the wrong way. Mm-hmm. That it's not a concept of physical space. It is a manipulation of the mind.
Okay.
Right? That's what I got out of what they were showing from the book and what he was doing and all that kind of stuff. And you just need to see the world differently to be able to move through it differently.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Okay. Did you watch the director's cut or the theatrical version?
Director's cut.
So how long was that? Because I don't know which one I watched. Was yours just under 2 hours? Because this might be a reverse Abyss where you saw the director's cut and I didn't.
Okay. This one is, it's 132 minutes, so it's over 2 hours.
Okay, yeah. Mine was just under 2. Damn.
Okay.
I should have watched the director's cut.
I don't know. I just pulled out one of the discs and I pressed play. So I know, because I know this says the director's cut, but I know there's both versions on it.
Okay.
Because I haven't watched this in so long, I could not pick out the differences. Mm-hmm. Because there were parts in it, especially the parts where, okay, tell me if this happened. So were there parts where they showed passages out of the book he was reading?
So that's why I asked you, because I saw in a YouTube video I watched, they were talking about these passages. I'm like, oh, I did not see this.
Oh, okay.
So when they're talking about the tangent universe, mm-hmm. like from October 2nd to when he goes back to October 1st, or October 2nd to Halloween, then she dies.
And he goes back.
Yeah, everything from the 2nd to the 31st is in the tangent universe that has been created.
That implodes on itself.
Yes, that implodes on itself. And then when he dies, when he goes back in time and dies, that's back in the regular or his normal universe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's a very confusing movie.
Well, so I think that's the difference, because when they show the passages out of the book on screen, they go a little bit too fast for my liking, because some of them are like one sentence, but some of them are like a full paragraph. And I'm sitting there like trying to read it as quickly as possible without having to pause to not lose the momentum of the movie and stuff. But it really does help understand what's going on in like the next scene.
Yeah. How do they do it? Are they done like chapter titles? Like, are they just sprinkled throughout the movie?
Yeah, they're sprinkled throughout the movie, right? So something's happening or whatever, and I know there's already title cards for the movie, like different dates, like 5 days till the end and all that kind of stuff. But in between there, he's like sitting reading his book, and then like literally like it looks like a page from a book is on the screen, and it's got these really cheesy effects of like skulls and like lightning crashing and blah 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 around the edges. It's really cheesy looking, right?
Okay.
But actually having the content on screen really helped piece together easier what was going on.
Yeah, that's why I was having these questions.
Yeah.
Like watching it as a kid, not a kid, but like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, I would have just been like, oh, it's a time travel movie. He just all of a sudden creates time travel.
Yeah. Not
thinking about what Frank is and what those spears out of his chest are, why he can see them.
Yeah, because they like those passages actually like explain what those are, and I really wish I had written those terms down Because it explains what Frank is. It explains what those things out of his chest are called. It even tells you, why certain, in the end sequence after he dies, everybody wakes up and they're like, oh, like people.
That one
some people
I
are
remember
crying
from
and
YouTube.
stuff.
So I know that from YouTube. So that scene sequence is great with Mad World by was it Jules something? Gary Jules. Oh man, because of this movie, I love that song. Great,
Well,
this movie has a great soundtrack. But
it has a great soundtrack. It's amazing. Yeah.
It's because when the tangent parallel universe is destroyed, people in the normal universe feel a residual effect from it.
Yeah, but it's only certain people, right? And
But they showed pretty much the whole cast.
No, but some of them did not have the same feeling as other people did, right?
That's true.
So
Patrick Swayze's bawling.
Yeah, well, because he knows he's a pedophile and he's going to die in the fire and shit. It's fine.
Well, fire's not going to happen now.
Well, that's true. So, but also other people might have an idea of what he's done.
Okay.
Right?
I hope so.
And that's the thing, like the way it's described in the passage is not just that there's a residual feeling. It's like it's almost like a dream they had, and they wake up and they remember their dream for a period of time and the emotion associated with the dream.
Okay.
And then apparently over time it might fade or it might stay with them. So I don't know.
So the guilt of what he's done.
Yeah, might still be there and whatever.
Yeah, the only person who seemed happy was is it Clarita? I remember her name was Chen. Something Chen. Mm-hmm. And she looks like she's in bed and she's either content or kind of smiling, which I thought was odd too.
Well, she was the one who got the most positive message out of all of it. I mean, he stops and he talks to her and he's like, "Don't worry, things are going to get better for you." And she's really the only one who comes out of it better, whereas everybody else realizes they were just, assholes or they've lost something that they didn't want to lose, right? Because like his parents are like, "Oh my God, my kid's dead." Her sister's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get to go to college." But I think Frank was her boyfriend.
Yeah, she talked about him a lot. It just seemed like so her boyfriend's alive and she gets to go to college, but her brother's dead. But like his girlfriend didn't seem to like. She seemed to have like a wondering of what was going on at the house, but she didn't seem to like. It didn't seem to have a residual effect on her. But she still waves at the mom, which I don't understand.
Well, the mom's there looking out and is crying, and I don't know.
Devastated.
Yeah, she's devastated, right? Like I kind of understood it. It was kind of like an odd moment, but like I kind of get it.
Like, did you notice the FAA agent, the fat guy smoking, watching them? Like stuff like that, I don't understand. Okay, so sorry. Do you remember the first time they're about to kiss? And then Jena Malone's like, I want it to be a beautiful moment to remind us.
But there's a fat guy over there
smoking. So you see him another time, and I didn't notice this when I watched the movie, but he's one of the FAA agents at the house.
Is he really?
He's watching them. He's not the main one. He's a secondary or third one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's watching them for some reason.
Yeah, because he shows up as well at the Halloween party.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of weird things like that. And then he's also at the school at one point outside smoking. So I don't understand that. I don't understand why the bullies are at Grandma Death's house. Are they trying to steal something? The dad mentioned that people used to go in there to steal gems. But why would these two bullies know about that? Like,
but she seems to be sort of like a town legend, though.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like one of those things that people just kind of know about, if you know what I mean.
And then I didn't understand why she goes crazy and what mail is she looking for? Why is she going there every day to check the mailbox?
Well, remember, too, at one point in time, he's like, I should write her a letter, or somebody should write her a letter. So she gets a letter. But she's also the person who came up with the theory that has him time traveling and him moving through dimensions.
Yeah.
And they said she went crazy. She's kind of lost it. And maybe what's happening is she's lost in that exact same place and she wasn't able to get out. Okay. So she's seeing that point in time where somebody writes her a letter continuously and she's just going back and forth. She's like stuck in a loop almost, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm assuming it is.
Yeah. This movie has some open questions I just don't get.
Which I kind of like about it, because I find when movies are too closed or finish out too perfectly, you're just like, oh, that's a cop-out.
Yeah, me and my oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, like, having questions left at the end of a movie allows you to have a discussion about it and make it more interesting. Whereas if you tie up everything, you're just like, everything's tied up in a neat package. Yeah. And then you just walk away from it. So
that's true. I do like, as you know, I love talking about movies. And this, like I was going to say, me and my friends from back home, we still, every once a year, bring up the Inception debate. Is he still in the dream, or is he out?
But didn't wasn't it Nolan who put out who was saying it actually isn't the top that is actually the indication of him being in or out of the dream? It was one of the people that actually indicated he was in or out of the dream. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense too. But I
think he's still dreaming because the kids are sitting in the exact same spot the way he remembered them, with the same clothes on.
That's possible.
At the very end, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's still dreaming. But
I don't know. Personally, I like the movie Inception. I think it's very cool. It's a very cool concept, and it's well executed. I just don't think it's as complicated as people keep thinking it is, and they need to get over it.
I think it's complicated.
I'm so mean. Well, no, when that movie came out, people were like, it's too complicated, and there's all these kind of like websites and stuff started making charts and graphs so you can understand which dream is where and what level things happen. Yeah, I was like, there's 3 layers. They went into a dream, into a dream, into a dream,
and they move at different top speeds. Out. Yeah,
and that's it. It's not that exciting.
It's because we watch Star Trek. There's been stuff like
this time travel stuff and this paradox stuff is bullshit. What are you talking
universes?
About?
Yeah, that's all that for us.
Jeez, what about that time 7 of 9 went back in time to save this guy who was also a time agent, but decided that everything he did was wrong, and then he had to arrest himself? Come on, that's complexity.
Is that real episode?
Yes, it is.
Oh wow, okay, I haven't gotten there yet.
Literally, at one point in time, Jane was just like they start off with the like, yeah, but if 7 of 9 didn't go back in time and do this, then he would not have done this and this. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I just don't want to talk about time travel paradox. It pisses me off. Just do what you have to do. And
it's called the grandpa paradox.
Well,
if you go back in time and kill your grandpa, then how did you were never born? So how did you go back in time and kill your grandpa?
Yeah, But also that falls into the different types of time travel theories, right? Where some people say time travel is, it's like time is on a line, or it's on a loop, or it's in branches, or there's no such thing as it, or you break it if you go back through it, that kind of stuff. So
I kind of enjoyed the way Marvel dealt with it, where it's like when you go back in time, then you create another line in time.
And then you bring it back together if you fix it.
Yeah, which I kind of thought was neat. So now you've opened up a parallel universe in a way.
Yeah, so that's like a quote unquote branch theory.
Yeah, which I kind of like. So your timelines, I mean, not your timeline, but this is gonna be a timeline that's still screwed, but then you're fixing another one.
Yeah, and then if you return everything to where it was supposed to be, you can fix the other timeline and bring it back together.
I think so. Yeah. Yes. I know, it's so complicated.
It is. And this is one of the that's why paradoxes exist, and that's why there's been so much theory and thought and discussion about time travel, because you're like, if something's already happened and then you went back because that thing happened to stop it, then how would you have time traveled to get back there? Because there would have been no reason for you to time travel. Yeah. So automatically paradox. But it's also one of the reasons why I still love the Terminator movies, and like Terminator 3 especially. Is Terminator 3, I'm going to say it. It's a bad movie.
I like 3.
No, but it's a bad movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good movie. But the thing about Terminator 3 is that they fix their own paradox in that movie. Right? Because throughout Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, you're like, she's gone back in time and stopped the apocalypse, but robots keep coming back, and you're just like, that's impossible then. But the thing is, Terminator 3, they're like, we're going to stop the apocalypse. But you're like, no, this isn't happening right now. This is why robots keep coming back. So I was like, you know what? You have redeemed yourself. I like this movie. It's fine.
And there's a great chase with a crane.
Yes.
A truck with a crane on it.
Well, it was a fire truck and a crane truck, right?
I think so. And there's a limo, a hearse
At some point in time. Yeah,
there's some weird chase scenes in it.
Yeah, because they also have like a vet truck or something. Because she works at like an animal shelter. She's
I think that's what the crane is chasing, or maybe the hearse. Something like.
And doesn't she have the Terminator have she steals like a fancy sports car at one point or something? I don't know.
That's right. It's a female Terminator. That's right.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of crazy vehicles in that movie.
And not to get too off topic, but I watched Dark Fate this week, and I know you didn't like it. I liked it more than the last one.
Which one?
The one with Mackenzie Davis and.
Yes. No, I didn't like that one.
What's her name? Oh my God, Sarah Connor. Linda Hamilton.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great first hour. The stuff with the military is kind of stupid with the cargo plane, and that's just too over the top. And why is the military helping Sarah Connor? Doesn't make any sense. And then the fight in the dam wasn't bad.
The fight in the dam.
That's how it ends at the dam.
Is it? I don't know. I really put that movie out of my head because I really didn't like it. I'm sorry. Yeah. I remember very small aspects of the movie. I like the fact that they sent someone back in time who was genetically and physically enhanced and stuff to protect this new, Latina girl or whatever. And the family. But then there's the whole Terminator family thing going on, and I don't know, maybe it was just a weird pacing thing. Maybe I just didn't like the story they put together. It just didn't really work. And then I just thought it was really funny, especially the last scene of the movie where what happens in the last scene? They go to a park or something, and the girl walks away with the Terminator girl, and they get into a Jeep and drive off. But the girl that she's so tiny, and she gets into the driver's seat, and she needs a booster seat in it, and it's just really funny looking to me, and I just really laughed at it.
Well, I think they threw that in because in at least 2 other movies you see a playground explode.
That's true. Yes.
So my guess was they put that in it's a nice happy ending. No children were incinerated.
Yeah, but that happened in Genesis. Genesis was a relatively happy ending.
Is that the one with Daenerys?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that one I hated. I couldn't stand that. So we're opposite here.
Personally, I thought that movie was just fine.
Ugh,
I didn't hate it. I understood what was happening. I understood why they did certain things in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I actually kind of like the fact that Skynet was just an AI that infected everybody's computer, because guess what? That's what we're all doing. I mean, we all know Skynet is Google. We know this, right? Yeah. We figured this out.
Or Huawei.
Yeah. And I think all that's happening right now is like with the Matrix. It's the Matrix and Terminator are coming together as one. Mm-hmm. And all of this all of these things, it's going to be Terminator first, and then it's going to turn into the Matrix, or has it already? Oh.
They break into simulation.
What? Yes, if I magically glitch, you'll know the real answer.
Yeah. Wait, just a Zoom, right? No, it's not.
Exactly. Yeah. They're monitoring us. It's okay. Anyway,
sorry, back to Donnie Darko.
Yes, back to Donnie Darko. I liked the movie.
Oh, I do too. I've always liked this movie. I'd probably love it. Mm-hmm. I think I love this movie.
Yeah, it's one of those first of all, like we were saying, it's a hard to explain movie. Mm-hmm. That has a very odd cast in it.
Yeah. That
has to do with time travel / parallel universes, and there's a giant guy in a bunny suit.
Good old Frank the Bunny.
One thing I never put together was, a few years ago I was listening to the Vlog Brothers, and John Green did an episode on a movie that changed his life. And the movie for him was the movie Harvey. Do you know what the movie Harvey is?
The one based on Harvey Milk?
No, that movie is called Milk.
It's called Milk, you're right. I'm mixing up that. Whoops. Can you explain Harvey? It doesn't ring a bell.
Harvey is a movie from the 1950s. It stars Jimmy Stewart.
Okay.
And he's a man who has an imaginary friend who is a giant bunny rabbit.
All right.
Now, in the movie, you never see this rabbit. You just have to listen to Jimmy Stewart talk about him, whatever, and people around him think he's crazy. And it sort of also talks about, it's pretty much about, like, you know, not being yourself and not accepting other people's views of things, even though what's real to you may not be real to someone else. And it's also kind of an indictment on the mental care system of the time period, which was horrible. Based not on just movie, if you read the history of mental health,
there was some lobotomies back then.
Yeah, and I was just
shock therapy and
and it's really, really horrendous, right? But watching this, so since I watched that, I finally got to watch Harvey maybe like a year ago, whatever, and I understood what John Green was saying about it. It did not change my life the way it changed his, for sure, but I got what he was saying, and it was a really good movie. But now watching Donnie Darko, I was like, this is sort of a version of Harvey, with a sci-fi element added to it, if you know what I mean. Like, because they sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no, go on. I don't see the connection.
No, because so within it, first of all, 6-foot bunnies.
Oh, yeah.
They're both about sort of believing in yourself and believing your own reality and figuring things out for yourself instead of trying to fit in with other people.
Okay.
Because one of the things with both Donnie Darko and both Harvey is the people are just like, why can't you be normal? Like, his parents want him to be normal. Like, he clearly has very severe mental issues. I'm not saying no. But the thing about Donnie is that he is very smart and he thinks about things in a slightly different way. He doesn't understand how to handle his own emotions. I get that. But people want him to be, quote unquote, just normal, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Harvey as well. And I have a feeling maybe that, like, Harvey was the inspiration as to why this character that Donnie was seeing was a rabbit.
See, I thought it would have been Alice in Wonderland, because follow the bunny down the rabbit hole, and you're in a different world. So in this case, you're in a parallel universe.
I have to say, I disagree with the whole parallel universe thing. I think it's more of a time loop thing.
Okay.
Again, I get this because of the content that was showed on screen in the director's cut. Because if you read what it says and it explains exactly what Frank is, and you're just like, oh, it's just sort of like an echo from something that's about to happen. Gotcha.
Okay.
That's come back, and like these certain entities stick with you, because that's why he sees certain people and certain things at certain times in certain ways. So I was like, oh, that clears up so much.
I should watch the director's cut.
Yeah. But that's just my impression of it, because like I mean, you thought more whimsical, I thought more sort of dastardly, and I think that's why I thought Harvey instead of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I never heard of Harvey before. Sounds up my alley, but it's black and white, right? Yeah,
it's a black and white movie. You actually never. The thing about the movie too, Harvey, is that you actually never see the rabbit, right? Yeah. You don't see the rabbit. The only indication that this quote unquote rabbit exists is at the end of the movie. He's walking away, and it's clearly a point where I think in a modern movie you'd see like the bunny manifest and put his arm, like it'd be like
waving goodbye,
or something. Whereas it's Harvey. Harvey is talking to what is his name in it? His name is Elwood in this movie. Sorry, Jimmy Stewart. And the rabbit's name is Harvey.
Yeah,
that needs to be clarified. But like they're leaving this mental institution together, and the gate in front of Elwood opens by itself, and they walk through, and he's like, "Thank you, Harvey," blah blah blah, and they kind of like walk off into the sunset, right? And you're like, at the end, you're just like, "Oh, the bunny's gonna appear," and then the credits start to roll, and you're like, he doesn't appear. This is amazing. Like I think it makes a really big, when subtle things make a really big difference in how a movie is taken or perceived, that's what that does.
Interesting. Yeah. There are a ton of bunny references throughout this whole, like even one of the books Drew Barrymore mentions is it's about bunnies.
The Watership Down.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. And then throughout the house, sometimes you see Donnie sitting there and there's a bunny behind him, or it's just littered throughout the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I got the Watership Down thing. It's a book I know a lot of people have to read that book in like high school and stuff, but I never had to. And the animation, like that cartoon movie is one that's been out for a very long time and is actually quite popular. But it's also not a movie I've ever wanted to watch or look at because it seems so... the thing is about like animation in the 80s is that they were heart-wrenching,
Yeah.
Shit like Fievel Goes West and... Not Fievel Goes West.
An American Tail.
An American Tail. Oh my God.
There are no cats in America, and the streets are made of cheese.
Exactly. And there's something I haven't seen in a long time.
Oh, great.
Even things like the Brave Little Toaster and stuff. You want to talk about, people talk about Toy Story making you cry about inanimate objects. Talk about the Brave Little Toaster. Thank you very much. Or
I didn't cry in Toy Story till the third one, I think.
Yeah, when they're apparently going into the furnace.
No, it was when Andy gives away all his toys to the little neighbor girl. Yeah, I just started bawling. That got me.
Yeah. Apparently, like that one and like the part of them going to the furnace made a lot of grown men cry.
Well, see, the furnace didn't make me cry. I was just like, oh my God, are they going to kill? Like I forgot for a second I'm watching a Pixar Disney movie, and of course it's not going to burn them alive.
Yeah.
But the movie was so good that I for a second I thought it might actually happen. Yeah. So for me, I was like, wow, this is a really good movie.
Yeah, I'm horrible because the Toy Story movies are one of the few Pixar movies that I really don't like.
I even like 4.
I hate the characters. And the furnace scene, I was like, yeah, I guess they're going to die now because nobody needs those toys anymore.
Good riddance, toys.
It's fine.
I'd rather be burned alive than lay in the ground for eternity.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be horrible.
The whole toys universe is kind of messed up. If all inanimate objects are, especially plastic ones that can't disintegrate, are alive, we're just torturing trillions of little toys. Anyways.
Yeah, recycle your toys or else they're going to lie in the ground for 600 years before they decay. Yeah. Oh, that would suck. They're not like us who could just like walk around freely every day and lose it.
Same with the Cars universe. I always love bringing this up. In one of the Cars movies, they show World War II.
Yeah.
And then you have the German cars versus the American cars.
Yeah.
So, what are they doing to the Jewish cars? Like what? They don't really. Anyways, it brings up a whole can of worms that they were. I know that people are just thinking too hard about it.
Because there's even a car pope, which means they had a car Jesus as well. Yeah. There's that whole theory. There's also the theory of just like why are there buildings and houses in the car universe? Like they're not using the house; they're in the garage.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You're just like, this is a pointless world. What are you guys
What
doing?
happened before Henry Ford came along?
Henry Ford just created life. That's all you need to know.
Well, so there's their God.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Like, so humans did exist, right? Henry Ford came along and they made cars, but then cars became sentient, and then something happened, and all of the humans and, like, animals died. And they were left sort of in like these ruins of a society, and they just took on the roles of that society.
Yeah, but they would have had to die a while ago because during World War II, I don't think you see. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I think it's just the cars fighting each other.
Yeah, maybe.
It's very strange.
I think I watched the first Cars movie.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I don't think I've watched anything else. It wasn't.
This is just to sell toys. This is
Like
I like a lot of stuff like that, but this is just.
It was just like not a very well thought out world or idea or anything.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's Donnie Darko action figures.
Oh, probably. There's action figures for everything.
There must be a Frank for sure.
Oh yeah, Donnie Darko.
You're looking it up.
Figures, yeah.
Buy me one too.
Oh yeah, it's all Frank.
Yeah.
Oh no, and then there's also a Donnie Darko in his Halloween costume.
What is it? Just the hoodie and his skeleton?
Yeah, the skeleton onesie and the hoodie. Yeah.
I was like, come on, Donnie, you can do better than this.
But Donnie doesn't care. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You got to know this.
But he likes stuff like Evil Dead. Why like, and you see in the movie, why not go as a demon or just put a little effort into it?
No. Ugh.
Oh, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you own the Last Temptation of Christ?
No.
I was like, damn, because if you did, then there'd be 3 movies from your podcast in one movie. Because Evil Dead, Donnie Darko, and Last Temptation.
I don't understand.
When you leave the theater, you see Evil Dead, and then below it says The Last Temptation of Christ playing after.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not realize that. It's one of the many
God references. Oh.
I did not realize that.
It's there for... Oh, sorry. I should have prefaced why I'm bringing up that movie. Yeah, it's right below Evil Dead on the what do you call it?
The marquee.
Board. The marquee. Thank you.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't that. Okay, sure. I'm assuming it's true. It's fine. I did not pick up on that at all. I was like, where are you going with this? What are you talking about?
I've never seen the movie. I just yeah.
Isn't that the one where Willem Dafoe plays Jesus?
I don't really know.
I'm pretty sure that movie had been lambasted a lot in like the news and thing and Christian Society and all that kind of stuff.
But I gotta give them props for Evil Dead. They when they go into the theater and when he gets back, it's about an hour and a half. So but should give enough time to burn down the house.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but even when he's talking with Frank, which is, I don't know, 5-10 minutes long, and you see a scene, you know, because we've done Evil Dead and I've seen the movie 1,000 times. Yeah. Like, yeah, that makes sense. It could be about this scene by now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also depends how far that guy's house is from where they are.
True.
Because he's got to walk there, burn it down, walk back. Nobody can see him. And then he sits down, you know, quietly. Also, why was that movie theater empty? That makes no sense to me.
And why did she fall asleep immediately? Like, she must have fallen asleep during the trailers.
But she could have been just tired.
I guess, but...
So, hold on. Willem Dafoe is Jesus. Harvey Keitel is Judas.
What?
The movie did come out in 1988, and it is a Martin Scorsese movie.
Wait, Scorsese directed it?
Yep.
Wow. Funny that it's all white men playing...
Right? Yeah. Barbara Hershey is Mary Magdalene.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. They should all be very tanned, being from the Middle East and all.
Yeah. And they say we don't have a colorist issue in movies.
Yeah. What are you talking about? We don't whitewash everything. What are you talking about?
That's hilarious. Anyways.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, I think he has enough time to burn down that house in that hour and a half. I don't see anything wrong with it.
So I because none of this doesn't happen, now Patrick Swayze can go on with his child kitty porn dungeon.
He can.
Yeah. There's a few things that aren't going to happen now. His sister's not going to make it to the Ed McMahon.
No, she can still do it.
No, because like she's going to be so devastated. They won't dance as well. They're never going to make it.
Oh, maybe. Okay. It was Star Search.
Star Search. Sorry. Yeah. That's Ed McMahon.
It's Ed McMahon, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's true. Or maybe what she can think to herself is, you know what? I'm going to do this just for Donnie. I'm going to make it. So, you know, that could mean like they win it all.
Yeah.
You have no
true.
But at least like there's like 2 people who end up living.
Yeah. Oh, Donnie should not have shot Frank. It's not Frank's fault at all. I guess he's driving a little bit too fast down an unlit road, but why? He's right. Why are they standing in the middle of the street? Like it's actually the bully's fault that she dies, I think.
Yeah, but the bully's not there, and he's the one who ran over his girlfriend.
I know, but he should find the bully and shoot him.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. It's a crime of passion, and I think that's one of the reasons why Frank is the character that ends up haunting him before that point.
Yeah,
is because he's a lost soul, technically, because he was the one who was wrongly killed. And technically, he's also haunting Donnie for this horrible thing he hasn't done yet.
Yeah.
But we all know that Donnie's impetuous and does stuff, because doesn't he say in the movie that what did he
something to do with abandoned house, right?
Yeah, he did something. Somebody died, and he's been on medication.
Wait, I don't think anyone died.
I think someone died.
Did I miss that? I thought he was like goofing around in a house and burn it down or something.
Yeah, and there's there was a squatter, like a homeless person in there, if I remember correctly.
Killed somebody?
I think so.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
I think that's what that was the whole thing.
Because it's a scene where he's telling he's walking Jena Malone home, and he tells her, "Yeah, like I had stuff in my past, but I'm all better now."
Yeah, and he kept trying to not really talk about it.
Yeah, seemed kind of open. But that's when I first realized that the other bully is Seth Rogen, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, I saw him there was a scene before that they show him in like the background.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, no, I didn't clue until they were outside smoking.
So I'm trying to look up what Donnie's history is, if possible.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure he like burned down the house and then he killed somebody.
Yeah, I never got the squatter part. Did you figure it out?
No.
Oh.
So, but I did find out all the terminology.
Oh.
So, Donnie Darko is something called the living receiver.
Okay.
So he is a chosen person to move through the tangent universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the manipulated dead, who is Frank.
Yeah.
He is somebody who the living receiver, who's connected to the living receiver who dies in the tangent universe.
Okay.
So that's Frank.
So isn't the tangent universe a parallel universe?
So it says tangent universe. It states that, okay, so this is based on Philosophy of Time Travel, which is the book Grandma Death has written, right? Yeah. And so that one states that time is usually a stable construct, but every now and then the fourth dimension gets corrupted, which is time. So the fourth dimension is time, is one thing you have to realize. And when this happens, it creates a tangent universe, which is highly unstable and will only last a few weeks before it collapses upon itself.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, it's not really a universe. It's just a different timeline that gets created that falls apart.
Okay. But why was it created in the first place?
I don't know. Hold on. I'm reading more now.
Because like I think everything after he wakes up from the first day is a tangent universe.
Yeah, but that has to do with the artifact, which is the
jet engine.
Yeah. So according to that, the artifact will spontaneously appear. The artifact is the first sign of evidence of a tangent universe has been created. Okay.
It's very confusing.
It just says every now and then the fourth dimension is corrupted. So it's just a part of something.
Okay.
It's like a mutation in the timeline. Let's put it that way. I don't know.
Okay. There's so much thought put into this movie by the writer-director, I can't remember his name, but he made the movie The Box after this, which wasn't that good. And then he made Southland Tales, which was one of the worst movies ever made.
Southland Tales is a very weird movie.
I hated it. I watched it for a bad movie podcast, and it's awful.
I don't think it's one of the worst movies ever made. It doesn't.
I did not get it at all. I couldn't find any joy in it, like even to make fun of it. I
found joy in making fun of that movie. It's just a weird movie.
Yeah.
Because Southland Tales is, I know what movie that is. That's the one that's got like, oh my god,
The Rock's in it. There's a ton of great actors in it.
Yeah, he wrote and yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. It is this movie that I'm thinking of. Okay, I am thinking of the right movie. Yeah, I did only see it once, and this was like a year after it was released. So I'm probably not the best person to talk about it at this point, but at the same time, I remember being like, what the fuck did I just watch? But at the same time,
Yeah, I had none of that. Like, because I don't understand how you make something so good and then just, I don't know, can't replicate it again.
Yeah, but also it might have to do with the fact that I find a lot of writers and directors and their first movie comes out and it's so good. It's because they've spent 15 years making it.
True.
Compared to their next movie, they've got like a year to pump out a script, an idea, and get it out there. And then all of a sudden you're like, shit falls apart really quickly.
I also wonder if this is a case where like he just had a really good editor. Like a George Lucas, like Star Wars was a mess, And then his wife came in and just put in the music, fixed everything up, and no one knows her name. I mean, not no one, but everyone knows George Lucas. But she saved the first episode 4.
Oh yeah, no, everybody knows that because
the editor is so important.
The first cut of that movie was absolute trash, and people were just like, "We're not releasing this movie," and they recut the whole thing.
So I wonder if that's the case here.
It might be
because you throw in 3 or 4 good songs throughout them because the soundtrack's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And those scenes, like when the first scene at the high school is great. I forget what song it is, but I know I love that song.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple of the songs because
there's the Notorious song during the dance. The kids.
That came on. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna dance to Biggie, and I was like, no, it's the original. Never mind.
Well, it wasn't until this movie I realized the Biggie remixed it.
Oh, like the thing is like most hip hop, actually almost all hip hop. Almost all hip hop is based on sampling music, right?
Oh, I love dance music. Same thing.
Exactly. Well, no, not necessarily. It depends on what type of dance music you like.
Happy dance music.
Yeah. But like especially popular hip hop is all sampling, and it's just about taking stuff that people are used to and using it in a completely different way. So when people start being like, oh, mashups are the new thing, I'm like, hip hop's been doing mashups since the fuck ever, what are you talking about? That's what they do, because hip hop came out of DJing, and DJing is based on making music out of music that already exists. That's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what was done. So when people are just like, oh my god, I didn't realize this sampled this, I'm like, yeah, everything samples something. Just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty entertained by that part. And then they have the Never Tear Us Apart by NXS in there.
Is that the high school?
Then they first go to the high school, yeah.
Yeah, I love that shot. Like you see the back of the bus, and the camera's tilted. It turns. Donnie jumps out of the back of the back door, which is so cool.
Only cool kids can do that. I know, right?
That's for emergencies only, stupid school.
And if we did that on our school bus, the alarm would just go off for 20 minutes. You'd be like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah,
it'd be a whole thing. It'd be a whole thing.
That whole shot's great. It just I do really like this movie.
Yeah, I actually forgot how good this movie was. One of the scenes I actually really enjoyed was the part where he's out with his friends and they're shooting like a BB gun, and his friends are having a discussion about like the Smurfs lore. Yeah. And then he comes back, he's like, no, this is the lore. What are you even arguing about? Yeah. And I was like, what he said is actually...
Yeah, he disproves their gangbang theory of Papa Smurf filming a gangbang of Smurfette. Now here comes listener discretion advised.
Yeah. But I was like, it's true. Everybody knows that Gargamel made Smurfette and blah, blah, blah. They even brought that back in the last Smurf movie that came out, which was so bad. Yeah.
I only know that because of this movie. I watched the Smurfs as a kid, but I don't remember any of the Smurf lore.
Well, no kid remembers any lore from any show they watched as a kid.
God, no.
I used to love Rainbow Bright, for example. I have no idea. What is Rainbow Bright? What was her superpower? What was she doing? I have no idea. All I knew is she was a colorful girl and she used to run around and there were rainbows. That's all I remember.
I remember so little of He-Man, for example.
Yeah.
So little of it. I can name He-Man, She-Ra, and Orko. I say I'm fairly can do that.
Really not Man-at-Arms?
No.
And
there was the old man, whatever his name was.
Teela. Which old man?
Wasn't there an old man in He-Man?
Are you talking about Man-at-Arms?
No. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the father of Teela? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you got
sure.
Wily Cat, who turns into Cringer, who turns into... Wily Cat is Thundercats. Oh my god, I'm getting it mixed up.
For me, the one that stuck was Ninja Turtles. I remember a lot of that for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was just at the right age with it and I watched so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
It just, it stuck on my brain.
That one I get too. The thing that blows my mind about, they changed one very fundamental thing between the cartoon and the movie. And I really should find the comic book that explains this because I want to know which one is the true origin.
Okay.
Because in the movie, Splinter is a rat who gets turned into a humanoid rat. Whereas in the cartoon, Splinter is human who gets the ooze on him and then turns part rat.
Which movie? Do you mean the very first one, like when we were kids?
Like not the
Michael Bay ones?
No, not that.
Okay.
No.
I'm making sure. I didn't think so, but
I actively have not watched either of those movies because I refuse to ruin my childhood now. Not acceptable.
Michael Bay can't ruin your childhood.
I watched Transformers. Yes, he can. Okay. It's fine. But yeah, that's the one thing from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I've always been like, which one's the true origin? I don't know. I never read the comics, so that's the thing, right? I have one comic book somewhere, but it's actually like volume 4, so the origin is in there. But the comic books are so much darker.
Yeah, and the black and white, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah. I mean, it's Kevin Eastman, and he's one of the original creators of like heavy metal and stuff. Like, when they turned the like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into a cartoon, people were just like, "What are you talking about? This is really dark. It's crazy. It's not for kids.
It's for kids."
And they made it for kids, but that happens, right?
And so he made a buttload of money.
I don't think he made that much money off of it, honestly.
Oh.
Not as much as you would think, I should say.
DC, or it wasn't. I know it wasn't Marvel. Whoever owned them probably made the money. But no, it wasn't even DC. It was a smaller.
I think it was a smaller.
Vertigo?
Or IDW. I want to say IDW.
Yeah. But yeah, the Smurfette scene is very, very funny. I remember quoting it. I don't know if it was me or a friend, but someone had saw this movie before the other person, and then I remember them bringing up the Smurfette talk, and I guess we were 20. Just trying to, look all cool. And like, yeah, I know what you're doing after I saw the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it was put out by Mirage. Then it was Dreamwave, and then it was IDW.
Okay.
It's currently IDW. I think that's why I'm getting it confused.
Are the comics still super dark?
No, they're like kids' comics as far as I'm concerned. But I also haven't tried to read any of them in a really long time. So I don't know. But like the original, so it was created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird in 1984 was the original. Look at that. Information about reptiles. What up?
We're off topic again. That's our MO.
I know. It's horrible.
I racked my brain. I could not think of any actor in here from Star Trek. Battlestar Galactica, but not Star Trek.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Where is he?
I know. I've been actually the last couple of episodes I've been horrible with that. I haven't sat there and thought about it, which is
Doom has a ton, so we'll be fine.
Ridiculous of me. Yeah, well, I mean, Karl Urban's in Doom. Like, you can't go wrong with that.
So The Rock's in Star Trek.
The Rock, yeah, and Voyager.
Yeah.
He beats the shit out of 7 to 9. That's good stuff right there.
She's making a lot of appearances this podcast.
Yeah.
She time traveled and she beat up space wrestler The Rock.
That's true. Yeah, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me look at the list of names in Donnie Darko.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the dad. I don't think Maggie Gyllenhaal's been in it. Oh, we didn't even mention her, really.
Oh, for years I didn't know they were actually brother and sister.
Oh yeah, me either.
And then when I found out, I was like, "What the shit? That's crazy!" But also, it made so much more sense because especially the scene at the table where just like he's like, don't be such a fuck ass.
Yeah,
that part was hilarious. But I was like, that makes so much more sense as to why it seems so real and actually plausible. Because I'm like, oh my god.
I wonder why that happened.
I don't know. I have no clue. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just went out for auditions and they're like, you guys look kind of alike. And you're like, oh, okay.
Well, do Jake and Maggie have famous Hollywood parents? I don't know any.
Aren't they related to famous people? Probably.
There's so much nepotism in Hollywood.
Apparently, Naomi Foner is a producer, screenwriter, and Stephen Gyllenhaal is a director. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
That's why. Now, they're both great actors. Like, I like them both a lot.
Oh, his godmother is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Yeah, they're connected to a few famous people. That's fine. But they're one of the few people where I'm just like, you know what? I'm fine with this because you guys are good at what you do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really hate nepotism, but it's bound to happen in almost any industry.
So, sorry, I found one.
Oh,
so the father...
Sorry. Okay.
I cheated. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The father was in Star Trek Enterprise.
As what?
An Enolian officer.
Oh, I remember now. No. What's an Enolian? Enolian.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Hold on.
Very visual for a podcast.
I know. Don't worry. I'm gonna post.
Describe the alien, please.
It looks like he's in a wind tunnel, and his cheeks and stuff are rippled.
Okay. Oh, are Enolians like? Do you remember are they the ones who look after junkyards and they're good at that game with your fingers?
I want to.
You know what I'm talking about? An Enolian plays against Data, the game, and then Data just brings him to a draw, and he gets all frustrated.
Oh, I know what episode you're talking about, but
is that Alien and Enolian?
I don't think that it's that.
They have super wrinkly face and.
Yeah, no, this guy looks. Yeah, but that guy also has like weird pale skin and there's like weird pock marks on his forehead and stuff. Yeah. No, this is much more normal looking than that. It literally looks like a guy who's in a wind tunnel. And you know, like when their cheeks ripple, that's what it looks like.
When I get to Enterprise, like in a couple years, I'll be like, oh, the Donnie Darko dad. Yeah. I'll text you immediately.
You're like, I found him. He's here. I got it.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if the mom may have been in one because I know she was in Battlestar Galactica. I get it, but I would not be surprised if she was in Star Trek as well.
Oh yeah, I don't. I think I would. That one I think I would know unless it was like Enterprise or Voyager later seasons because I know her so well. It's Rosalind something in Battlestar, and she's so good.
President Laura Roslin.
Rosalind's the last name. Okay, Laura Roslin.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah, no, she wasn't. That's fine. Right. It's all Battlestar Galactica.
All right, we got the dad.
Yeah, we're good. We made it.
Star Trek corner over until Doom.
And like this James Duval guy, he looks very familiar. Like I feel like I should know him from something.
Who's James Duval?
He's the guy who played Frank. You only see his face for like 2 seconds.
Oh God, I looked him up. He has like over 100 credits.
Yeah, he's got 143 credits.
He's been in so many things. So I didn't really go through it too deep. I wonder if he does voice acting or he's cut his hair so he looks different now.
Well, for the known of on IMDb, it's Donnie Darko, Gone in 60 Seconds, Independence Day, and something called May.
Independence Day. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. Independence Day. He's one of the kids. He's one of Randy Quaid's kids in the RV.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can tell by the hair, right? It's long ass hair. And,
yes.
And he's in May.
Yeah.
May's a great horror movie, but
I've never seen it. I have no idea. No, he's a guy named Blank.
Okay, she probably kills him and turns him into a doll. That's what the premise of the movie is, essentially. She kills a bunch of people and then combines them into her friend for her to have. It's a really fucked up movie.
That sounds fucked up. Yes.
You know, I love horror movies.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely not in Star Trek.
No.
Fine. I think I would have remembered Patrick Swayze being in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or Drew Barrymore. What's the science teacher's name?
Well, it's Noah Wyle.
Noah Wyle. Why do I know him?
He was in ER. He's Dr. Carter in ER.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw that movie, like Donnie Darko, for the first time because I was like, oh my God, it's Dr. Carter from ER. I should watch that movie. And then I watched it because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never watched ER.
Oh, fucking loved ER. Jeez.
I generally don't like medical dramas.
Well, you're missing out because you need to know what hematomas are. You gotta yell stat every once in a while. Yeah. I mean, like, the thing is with ER, I guess with like any show, when it's coming to an end, the seasons get kind of crappy and get a little outlandish. And that really did happen with ER. But that last season of ER was fucking killer. I remember going, oh, where was all this writing for the last 3 seasons? And it fucking killed the ending. It was amazing. It was such a good show.
So you watched the whole series?
I think I started I was too young at first. And I think I started watching like season 3 or 4. I never originally watched like the first seasons of the movie. And then the show, sorry.
Yeah.
Then and then I was hooked.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure it was like the first like proper like adult program I was into. Quote unquote.
Ooh,
like not adult as in X-rated, adult as in
I know. Yeah.
That are not children.
Would X-Files count? Does Star Trek count? I don't think that's adult. I guess maybe.
I don't. Well, because then if I start doing that, then definitely. Well, X-Files would have come out the year before because ER is 94 to 2009.
Because I definitely watched the first season of X-Files. I remember like.
Oh, I also did. I started watching on episode 3.
Yeah, so that might be my first adult show that I was really, really into.
So maybe I'll go with the X-Files because the X-Files is the show I was obsessed with.
Yeah, because I was 11 when it came out, and every Sunday I was so excited to watch it.
Mm-hmm. That's a lie because when the show first came out, it was always on Friday nights.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm mixing my days up.
Yeah. Well, no, it did. I think it moved to Sundays in its 3rd season or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because Friday nights were the dumping ground for things you thought were going to fail. And if it succeeded there, then it was moved to Sundays because Sunday was like, because the whole thing was audiences, Fridays were going out nights. So you didn't have an actual audience, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Sunday were family nights. So Sunday was the night where everybody was home, everybody was in front of TV. And that's the point in time you want to get people to like watch a show. Mm-hmm. And the other day was Thursday. So it was like Thursday and Sunday were like fucking A nights. Friday, it was like Friday and Monday were dumping grounds for garbage.
Yeah.
And I think Tuesday and Wednesday were like a mixed bag because it was like the middle of the week.
Yeah. I'm glad those days are done.
Yeah, like you can get anything, anytime, anywhere, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Wait, why am I looking up ER again? Oh, I was looking at dates. Sorry, yes.
You're just looking at Noah Wiley, aren't you?
Yeah,
Ooh, Dr. Carter. Oh, in your scrubs.
No, that like he was just, the thing is, ER, when the show first started, he was the main character. Like the whole show starts because of him, right?
Yeah.
So like it starts on his first day of being a resident at the hospital. And then from there, you meet,
I didn't know that.
You meet the other, you meet Dr. Green and all that kind of stuff. You meet all the other
Clooney's
people.
Dr. Hottie.
Oh my God, what was Clooney's name? Holy shit, I'm forgetting all of these things.
Oh, that's what I've been watching years.
Well, Dr. Green was Goose from Top Gun.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards, that's his name. And, oh my God, why is he so low on this list? George Clooney, he's Dr. Ross.
Oh, okay, yeah, I knew that. Wait, I just thought about my actual first adult show. It would have been
what?
Cheers. Probably Cheers.
Really, you think a sitcom is considered an adult?
Yeah,
program?
but like I was like 10 watching a show about adults in a bar. Like,
I don't know. For some reason, I don't consider a sitcom to be.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know. There's not really that much like.
But I was definitely watching before I understood what most of the jokes were about. Like, I was like, haha, Woody's dumb. But, I probably, Sam's having sex with every woman left, right, and center. But I definitely didn't understand the stuff with him and Diane. And
yeah, but you can also say that about like Animaniacs because if you rewatch some of those episodes, you're just like, I missed so much as a child.
Yeah.
So
but that was targeted for children.
It was targeted for children, but there's a lot of content in that is definitely for adults.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it too, sorry, I'll stop doing this, but there's MASH. I used to watch a lot of MASH as a kid, like way too young for that.
I did not watch a lot of MASH.
And a show called Tour of Duty, which is about the War of Vietnam.
Because
you're watched that with my grandparents.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I know.
God.
Oh no, I'm so screwed up.
I know. We watched a lot of. I definitely watched a lot of cartoons.
Yeah.
We did watch Cheers and like Family Matters. We did watch like Martin and Living Single and stuff, which was I was probably
in Living Color.
In Living Color. Of course, like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But like all of those are kind of like comedy sitcoms that can go over well, like aren't so bad for kids, but really have a lot of content that is not for children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know where to draw that line, like the adult / child.
Yeah, I'm gonna say mine's definitely Tour Duty because I watched that way too young with my grandparents, but I always fall asleep during it.
Well, see, because you were bored by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was on late at night. It was on like 9 o'clock, and I don't know, 6 or 7.
No, my household has never been an early household, and like even from a very young age, I remember being up at like midnight. My parents yelling, "Why aren't you guys asleep?"
Oh yeah.
Because we never really had like a bedtime. It was like when you're tired, you go to bed unless it was a school night, and then you get yelled at if you're up and it's way too late. You're gonna be tired in the morning. But
when I'm home for Christmas, the first night my mom and dad will stay up late, like midnight or 1, because I'm there. Like I'm at home, but they still get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. So the next day there's a long nap, and then they're not up as late. So all right, what's on Netflix? Watch usually Christmas Day I'm up from 9 to 2 in the morning. I can just watch whatever I want.
Yeah, that's a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, yeah, Christmas Day in my house is like I go over, I spend Christmas Eve with my mom, we put up trees, whatever, we cook. We wake up early, Merry Christmas, yawn, whatever, open stuff, shove food in our faces, sleep for like 4 hours, and then we wake up and do whatever else. There's always a nap in the middle of Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, I do it too, but it's usually a short nap.
Sorry, why are we on Christmas?
I don't know. Well, Donnie Darko is all about Christmas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not Halloween.
Not Halloween at all. Whatever.
Actually, to be honest, a lot of the costumes were pretty lame. I thought. Like I know they're teenagers, so I guess it's supposed to be. But I love in movies when the teenager costumes or the college kids costumes are just so good. Like, there's no way they would have done that. It's a costume designer going nuts.
But I also think that's one of the reasons why this movie works better than some of those other movies, because you're just like, no, that's what a high school / freshman at college would wear to a Halloween party. They're not spending $2,000 putting together an outfit. They're going to grab some shit from their closet and be like, yeah, this is fine. And
I could be wrong, but they all feel like they're high school kids.
I think they're...
Are they actually all 30? I don't think they are, but...
What do you mean?
Like Jake Gyllenhaal and Jena Malone.
Oh, like their actual ages?
They actually seem like they are around that age. Like, they're age appropriate.
Yes, I agree. I actually find everybody in there looks age appropriate.
Yeah, the Bully and Seth Rogen look a little bit older, but that's about it. Everyone else seems... Jake
Gyllenhaal was born in 1980. This movie came out in 2001, so he was 21 years old.
It could have been filmed a year or two before, too. So, yeah, he was, I'll say 20. So that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's acceptable. Whereas, you go back and watch old episodes of,
90210.
Yeah, and you're just like, we thought you guys were in high school?
Oh, Luke Perry, you high school student.
I know. What the hell? Or that one girl who was 35 or something. Yeah.
And, the most egregious example is Grease. Yeah, they're high school kids, but I think most of them are in their 30s.
Yeah.
What's the one? Oh, what's her name?
Stockard Channing, wasn't it?
What's her character name? Rizzo? Rizzo, thank you.
Rizzo, yeah. Yeah.
Way too old.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rizzo.
They all look very you kind of get lost in the movie and you just accept the world for what it is. But I'm like, you look as old as your parents. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. So it's all very weird.
Yeah, I hear you.
Any other thoughts on Donnie Darko?
I don't think so. I just really like the movie.
Yeah, I really like the movie.
Thank you for letting me watch it again.
No problem. It's
been a long time.
Oh, why did I make a comment on alliteration and comic?
Alliteration.
I'm assuming they mentioned something about comic books in the movie, and I was my note is there's a lot of alliteration in comic books, and I list off Peter Parker, J. Jonah Jameson, Bruce Banner, Susie Storm, Octo Octavius, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Teen Titans, and I'm like,
these are your notes for Donnie Darko?
Yeah, they must have mentioned something somewhere.
The only pop culture thing I remember is the Smurfs thing. There must be more. I mean, they go see Evil Dead, and
yeah. But there's also a part with the gossiping, and one of the girls, like, remember when he floods the school?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's like, oh my God, and there was feces everywhere. And some little girl's like,
Oh,
what's feces? Yeah. And the other girl's like, oh, it's baby mice. And they're like, aw. I was like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
I laughed really hard at that one. I thought that was great.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things in this movie.
Yeah. I did think this scene where the girl first comes into class and Drew Barrymore's like, sit next to the boy you think is the cutest. I was like,
what a dick move.
That is a dick move.
That is an awful teacher. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because first of all, it makes this new kid feel really uncomfortable, but then it also makes everybody else in the class feel bad if they're not chosen.
She also makes
just alienating everybody else.
She also takes another girl's seat, and Drew Barrymore's like, go sit over there. Like, we're
yeah,
that's just so mean.
Yeah, you're prioritizing someone else, by whatever. It's kind of ridiculous.
I see why she got fired.
Yeah. I mean, I understand she was against the establishment and was trying to teach kids something a little bit different that's outside of their small little world. I get it. But at the same time, that was a little far. Didn't enjoy that part. But when she runs outside and yells, fuck, I was like, yeah, I feel that pain.
And then the angel is sitting there.
Yeah, she's sitting there watching.
Yeah. She's just there in a lot of weird scenes. Like I'm like, why? Like, did you ever see the movie Magnolia?
Yep. So
do you remember the little black boy who's always there? So he is definitely an angel, like not allegory, but he is an angel. I think he's an angel sent by God.
Personally, I don't think calling them angels is correct. Well, I think they are observers of the human condition.
But from a higher power, right? Like Magnolia is definitely.
No. I don't think it's of a higher power. I think in everybody's world. Mm-hmm. There are people you do not realize is there, and people who just watch, people who see things, people who are around.
But especially in Magnolia, every time he's in a scene, stuff gets triggered. Like that, not every scene. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but I just remember last time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's like, I know angel's maybe not the right word, but.
Well, it's coming up in like 2 years. It's fine.
Oh, good. It is a great movie.
It is a really good movie.
Yeah.
I do.
But yeah. So watching it this time, when I thought of Clarita, I should look her name up. I was like, oh, I wonder if she's like similar to the kid in Magnolia. Now, could just be thinking too much into it.
Her name is Sharita Chen.
Sharita, not Clarita. Okay, thank you. I don't think Clarita's her name.
Yeah, it's Cherita.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't noticed her like I had this time watching it.
Yeah, she's in interesting places for sure.
Yeah, and I'm probably calling her an angel because in the talent show she's like in wings and throwing, white petals or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think she's also the vehicle to show, like sheep go to heaven and goats go to hell kind of thing.
Sorry, what? What's that?
Oh, it's the concept that if you follow along and do everything you're told, like sheep do, like you're getting herded and you do exactly things, you are going to go to heaven. Because if you do everything right, you're angelic, you're perfect, you go to heaven. But if you decide to, be a little bit disruptive and do as you will and not be part of the crowd, you're going to go to hell.
Oh.
And I think that's sort of the vehicle in there because, like, this movie, like I said, I think it's an indictment on Catholicism, like, not Catholicism itself, but more like the idea that you have to conform to be considered good.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, this is definitely an indictment on suburbia and middle class conservatism, I think.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, not indictment, that's the wrong word, but.
But the thing is what's that stupid teacher's name? The mean one who yells all the time and is all about,
yeah, the one who killed Steve.
Like this. Yeah.
I'll assume she's the same person.
Yeah. She's like, if you don't do everything this specific way, you are not a good person and you are bad.
Yeah.
And it's about forcing that message down the throat of all of these children, right? And so, like, Trita, she gets made fun of by everybody because she does not fit this mold they want her to fit into.
She's the only person of color in the whole movie, except for the janitor, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
She's definitely the only student.
And the thing is when she's in the talent show, she does her thing completely differently than everybody else. She's dressed like an angel, but she does everything, you know, nicely. Like, there's nothing wrong with what she did, but she did not conform to what is expected of her. So she was shunned. That's why she's sitting outside by herself crying at the end. And those girls who did what they're expected to do, which was perform, like, even though they're little girls, they have to perform in a very specific way to get the attention to be considered good at something, right?
And where's that gym teacher's morals, having little girls, you know, not dressed provocatively? I guess a little bit.
They're scantily clad and doing all this stuff in front of people. Yes.
And also when she's confronted with the fact that Patrick Swayze is a pedophile, she just can't believe it.
Yeah, because, you know, but she's also...
She can't go to the Ed McMahon show because, you know, she has to be in his arraignment. Yeah,
but the saddest part about that is she's built her whole life around the belief that what he's teaching is true. Yeah. And once, like, she realized that can't be it, because, like, there's the part where Donnie gets in front of the board and is like, you know, fear, what is it? Fear and
love.
And fear and love. And he's like, shit's not black and white. Yeah. And, you know, why isn't there stuff in the gray area?
The range of human emotions is more vast than this.
And she has no way of backing up that theory. All she can do is threaten him and be like, if you don't do it, you're going to fail. Right? So that's, if you can't even back up your own theory, then what are you doing? Yeah. Like, why are you defending it? There's no...
Well, she's the moral authority in the movie. Like, she's part of one of the things I noticed, like, with the God stuff. There's even a scene where they're coming out of the parents are coming out of the principal's office. Yeah, so I thought we were done, but there's more gonna just keep coming up. When the two parents are coming out of the principal's office after he tells her to go fuck herself, or whatever he says, you hear her talking to the secretary or another teacher at school. Talking about there's no morals anymore. What's happening to this country? Like it's stuff I never noticed before.
Yeah. Well, because even she was like, she's like trying to say, you know, I've always respected you as a woman and blah, 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 but with your son doing this, I can't respect you as a mother. And you're just, you're sitting there going, how can you be that judgmental? Like, how is it possible for you to be that level of judgment? But honestly, I have friends who are parents, and they're like, you would be surprised at the shit people tell you because you're a parent of like a small boy or a small girl, and they just think they know better how to take care of your child than you do.
I've heard the same thing when some of my friends are in mommy groups, you know.
Yeah.
Right? So they'll be very judgmental moms. I assume the same thing happens with dads too, but I mean, not the same way, but.
Yeah. Because they're like, oh, you don't breastfeed your child, so you're obviously don't care if your kid dies.
Or you got your kid vaccinated? Oh, you're going to give him autism. Like, you know.
Yeah, like it's crazy things.
Those are two extremes, but then there's microaggressions, like with little things. And so this character in the movie is a perfect example of a judgmental religious zealot, I think.
Yeah, who's just trapped in her own thought instead of expanding her mind and actually seeing things from other people's views. She's like, if you don't do it this way, you're just wrong and you're going to go to hell. And you're like, that's one of the biggest problems people have with people of the church or overly
those people
religious
suck.
people. Those people suck.
I have religious friends. I'm a pretty big atheist, but I definitely have religious friends. We'll debate sometimes, but if they're not judgy against me, I'm not going to be judgy against them. Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. It's more about opening a discussion and a dialogue and being open-minded to other people's beliefs and thoughts than trying to shove your thought down someone else's throat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I still make fun of it when I'm dragged to church. My wife dragged me to Catholic church, like a family event.
You don't want to drink some wine and eat some bread with some people? What's wrong with you?
Nope. I just wanted to be over and done with as soon as possible. I'm so glad my parents were atheists, so I could play video games someday.
I'm glad we didn't have this discussion when we were talking about Dogma last time.
Oh my
God. Yeah. I don't know. Like I like in there, my guest was all like, "I'm gonna offend people." I'm like, "Look, this is a movie about religion. You're gonna offend somebody no matter what you say. Just say it. Just say it." So, I guess we're getting there too. It's fine. I'm okay with it. As long as it's an open discussion, we're not actively being mean. We're not, pushing our agenda on other people. We're just like, think about stuff. That's literally all I expect from people. Just think about stuff. Mm-hmm. And that I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Ready for Doom.
You're ready for Doom? All right, Doom. Here we come. Now, here's a very different type of sci-fi movie that I was very excited to sit and watch, and then I sat and watched it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, gotcha." Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm watching Aliens and I'm watching Predator mashed into one."
Mashed into one movie.
It's very dimly lit, and it's very bad.
Yeah, like I was really shocked. Like I don't remember it being this bad. Like I remember it being, like cheesy and campy and stuff. But I was sitting there watching it, going, "Oh my God, can we not?" I'm
pretty sure I saw this in theaters.
I definitely saw this in theaters. I also paid to buy a DVD to put on my shelf. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Ooh. And now I'm watching it and I'm just like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah, this isn't Alien Apocalypse bad, but it's pretty close.
Oh yeah. It's just I don't even know. I think one of the things that, like you were saying, how it was too dark. I think the over darkness actually detracted from the horror in the movie. Yeah,
you can't see what's happening. It's like I actually wondered if it was the quality I was watching, so I paused it and then I read up on it. I'm like, oh no, other people think the same thing. I'm like, okay, it's not just watching a shitty version.
I did exactly the same thing. Yeah. And there's so many parts where you're like, all of a sudden they just start shooting something, and you're just like, you see like black on your screen.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to them shooting at something, and you're just like, I just saw something. You're like, you did? Are you sure? There's nothing there.
I'll give it some credit. I think in the first half, they do a lot of practical effects that I thought were okay, or not bad. Like some of the monster effects weren't actually that bad before they got to the crappy CGI.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Like even when they're doing the autopsy on the monsters, I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. Like it's actually a thing they're touching.
Yeah.
But most of the fights, you can't see what's happening. And I don't know, like I think the creature just bit his neck. Okay, yeah, it did, because he's doing this now. But
yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And this was the thing that frustrated me. Like if the gaffer came in there and turned on one extra light so that we can actually have an idea and see what was going on, it would be good. Because I mean, if you watch Terminator or you watch Predator or you watch Alien, those movies are very dark movies, like visually dark movies, but they're bright enough so that you can actually see what's going on, and so you can get that, you can see, that shadow move across. Because if everything's black, you can't see the shadow, so you're just like, what's happening? You just sit there and shrug.
I think it might have been on purpose. I'm guessing the sets looked really cheap and crappy.
Mm-hmm.
And just maybe the monsters even like that I think look okay. If you lit them up even more, they would look awful. That's just my guess. But it's just especially there's like 30 minutes of this movie them going to built rooms searching for these scientists, and I can't. Okay, this room has animals in it because I can hear the animals.
Yeah, but you can't
it's
see
a lot of dark corridors, dark sewers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, what kind of lab is this?
My question is, you're on Mars.
Yeah.
Where are these sewers that you built? Where is this random feces puddle that you're like? Where is this?
Why do you? This is funny. Why do you have sewers you can walk through for a crew of 80 people?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like all you would on something like that, all you would do is have a bunch of pipes that lead into like a what are they called? We don't really have them here in Canada. Those underground like tanks that hold sewage.
I guess I don't know what they're called.
I don't know, but yeah, you just have them. You just go to this tank and get rid of it. Whatever.
It's Mars. Just shoot it off a cliff.
Yeah. Or even if you did have sewers on Mars, why can they breathe down there? Why would you give it a life support system? That makes no sense. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. You know what? Until you said it was Mars, I forgot they were there. Like, it's true. They do shoot them across the galaxy, and they do say Mars, or not across the galaxy. They use that, like, Galaxy Quest transporter. It's pretty much the same thing.
First of all, yeah, actually it is like the Galaxy Quest transporter now that I think about it.
Just dumber.
Friggin' gateway. Anyways. Also, sorry, no, it's called the Ark. Sorry, it's called the Ark. Yeah. Also, when they actually got to the Ark, my question is, the people who first discovered this in 2026, 6 years from now, we're going to discover this in the desert. We're going to discover it in the desert in Nevada, which gets us to Mars.
That's right. My bad.
Okay. Get your story right. Come on.
So confusing.
What did they discover? Did they discover like a pool and they stepped in it and then somebody went to Mars and died? Like, how did they figure out this went to Mars?
But why did Pinky lose lose his legs when he went through it? Like,
I don't know. Apparently there was some sort of error, and
But they also said his ass got sent to another dimension or another galaxy, and then you see his legs. They do a flashback, and his legs drop. But so where does his front go? Like, I don't understand. I
have no idea. I don't know. That is not explained. It makes very little sense throughout the whole thing. I'm just like, all right. That's what the movie
should be called. This makes no sense.
Yeah, this makes no sense. Where's Pinky's ass?
It's too dark. It makes no sense.
But the movie actually takes place in 2046 because it was 20 years later.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
And so I'm like, first of all, that's very soon. And if this doesn't happen very soon, I'm going to be very upset. And I'm just like, I don't even know where to go with this. I just don't. I don't know.
You just pick it apart.
Yeah. I also don't know what the original story for because it's based on the video game, obviously.
Yeah, which I played. I haven't played the newer Dooms. There's a lot of new ones. One just came out this year.
Yes. Yeah, they have never stopped making Doom. And they make so much money off this game. Mm-hmm. But do you remember what the original story for Doom, there's always a backstory of some sort.
I watched a few clips of people playing the game, like the original one that I played. And it brought back memories, but I just remember your Sarge and like you're basically the Rock in the movie. I think
aren't you supposed to be Karl Urban in the?
Are you? But he didn't really have a name. His name was John.
No, his name was Reaper.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't even know.
His name was John Grimm, and his title was Reaper.
I didn't catch that.
Come on,
John Grimm. Okay. That's funny. No, I totally missed that. But yeah, it's just it's one of the first person shooters. You have Wolfenstein, you have Doom, Duke Nukem. Those are the early ones I remember.
Yeah. Oh, Wolfenstein.
You got to kill Mecha Hitler. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. And then what came up? Well, there's Unreal came out after that.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to play so much Unreal Tournament. I used to love to do the headshots. Oh.
I find first-person shooters now kind of boring. I'm playing one now called Borderlands.
Yeah.
And it's about a 40-hour game.
I love that movie. That game, sorry.
It's fun. Like, there's some humor in it, but every single level is the same. I'm just shooting things, and I can turn into a mech warrior for 2 minutes and shoot things, and I become a person again, and I shoot. I don't know. I need puzzles. I need
So you didn't like the first-person shooter sequence in the movie?
No, I did. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, that actually was my favorite part of the whole thing.
It made no sense. Like, he turns a corner and there's a scientist hanging there, and then he was like, ah! And then he shoots him with a shotgun. Then another corner, there's a scientist coming at him with a hatchet for some reason. He's got a space hatchet, and then he shoots his hand, and the hatchet goes into his head.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
I don't understand what your problem is. Like, I don't.
I mean,
that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. What are you talking about?
The scene goes on way too long, and it's fantastic.
It is so long.
It's just Karl Urban looks in the mirror. First person shooter.
Well, I guess they had to get in for the time period. They had to get in all the different types of characters that were in the game, in the movie. So they had to show like dead bodies, of course. They had to show a corner that had nothing, like, they're all dead, the calm part. They had to show somebody who's like half a monster. They had to show full monsters. They had to show Pinky as the monster, where you see like his little thing at the end or whatever.
That was kind of cool, actually. I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, there was that part. They had to show. Didn't they have one with like a chainsaw coming at him as well?
Oh yeah.
The guy with the hackets. Yeah. The weapons had to come in there.
And the big fucking gun, the BFG.
Yeah. I love the fact that like on the screen it was like Bioforce gun. I'm like, it's a big fucking gun. What are you talking about?
Everyone knows big fucking gun.
Yeah. Well, at least he calls it that later in the
I was waiting for it. I thought I was going to say when he saw it, but because I don't think I've seen this movie since theaters, and even then I was like, oh, this isn't that good. And I had really bad taste back then. I mean, I probably still do, but
yeah, you know,
a bad movie. But like, I spent probably $6 on this. I don't know how long ago. When did this come out? 2005.
2005, yeah, 15 years ago.
The opening scene with the scientist all being killed. This is just kind of random. Do you remember when the main scientist is like he's locked himself in a room and he's singing a computer like and sending an SOS out?
Yeah. He
is blinking uncontrollably, and I thought he was sending out like a Morse code, and that would come into effect later. Like, did you notice this?
Why?
Because he wouldn't stop blinking.
Yeah, but that's
and I thought it was deliberate.
I also think it's deliberate, but not because of what you're saying it is. I think it's just because he's freaked out and he's sweats it pouring in his eyes and all kinds of stuff. Or
I don't know. It's just so much blinking. I was waiting for this to come back into the movie later, and I was like, oh no, I'm way off.
It just looked like he was freaking out to me. I don't know. Yeah. That's all I thought it was.
Okay, I read too much into it.
I mean, yeah, I think the reason why you read that much into it because you were expecting this movie to just be a little bit more than what it was. And you're like, this doesn't, it's not working.
No. None of the, I mean, I can't say none of them. The pervert guy is really annoying.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he reminded me of the guy in Predator who's telling the vagina jokes. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? There's like one little. He's not a pervert, but he's like he tells dirty jokes. He's the first one to die in Predator, and then he reminded me of Hudson from Aliens. Like, we're not gonna make it, man. Like getting all scared.
Oh, he does not remind me of him at all.
No, not a good like Hudson. Like Bill Paxton is the best, but this is like a really poor man's Bill Paxton.
Really? No, I think the thing is, I don't think Hudson doesn't come across as creepy. He comes across as an asshole, but he doesn't come across as creepy.
Yeah. He's a lovable asshole.
But this guy comes across as like extremely creepy. Like he just makes the first
tries to strip search women.
Yeah, and the first joke that he makes, even before they're on the planet, is something about going somewhere on vacation and having sex with little boys. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's gross. And then the second joke he made was about raping women, and then he's on Mars and he's like, let me strip search you. And I was like,
yeah, you suck, Carrot. Yeah.
This sucks. Thanks, guys.
Do you know what I recognized him from? He kills Bruce Wayne's parents in Batman Begins.
Oh, yeah,
and I couldn't figure it out. Like, I was scrolling through IMDb, and like, why do I recognize him?
I recognized him from the stupid scene in The Kingsman, which was such a weird scene to recognize him from. Yeah, in the first one, you know the part where they're strapped to the train tracks, and they're like, "Who do you work for?" He's that guy.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's. As soon as I saw him, that's what popped into my head. I'm like, oh, it's the guy from Kingsman. I don't know.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out who he was or what I knew him from.
Yeah, but as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, he is a Batman. Okay.
Yeah.
You would think that would be the one that would, like, resonate more with me, but I don't know why. It's fine.
I also couldn't believe Rosamund Pike was in this movie. I just know her from dramas and serious things. And then when she shows up, I'm like...
Yeah.
She's a good actress, but her accent kept dropping.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
I did love her.
Scenes, she was yelling. Like
Gone Girl, it's good.
The Britishness would come out.
Yeah. I don't know. Their whole thing was kind of weird. I don't know. At one point in time, they're like, for no reason, they have to be twins. And then all of a sudden, he like, the guy asked them if they were identical twins. I'm like, one's a boy and one's a girl. So no. Like.
Was it the guy trying to have sex with her?
Yeah. Because
that was not the time, buddy.
Yeah, because he's like, which one's older? And he's like, me by 2 minutes. He's like, oh, twins. Are you guys identical? And I was like, what? How is that a question?
Okay, for me, the dumbest line was actually by Karl Urban, who I love. Like,
oh no!
Do you remember when they're looking at the bones of the people they found on the dig site? And he's like, Rosamund Pike saying how smart they must have been because they have another chromosome. And he's like, if they're so smart, why are they so dead? What? Karl Urban, you realize smart people die too.
Yeah, everybody dies somehow.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's so wasted in this movie. He is so awesome.
He's so awesome. But
I love him. He's one of my favorite actors. And he's just, I guess if anyone in the movie, he has at least a few things to do, but so little.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, well, because you start watching the movie thinking The Rock is going to be the hero because I think at that time, The Rock was probably, though he was still relatively new, he was probably still the most famous person in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, kind of on the same level as Karl Urban, like they're going to be the two that's going to, band together and save the day.
Yeah.
And especially the part where The Rock gets taken and he's like, I'm not supposed to die.
I did laugh at that. I forgot that happened.
I was like, what?
But his turn to evil made absolutely no sense to me. I thought when he got blood on his hand, I'm like, okay, this is why he turns evil, like watching it this time.
Because I thought at that point in time, like he didn't get bitten, but like something from the chemical in his hand probably like got into him or whatever. And that's why he's like, because at that point in time, right from then on, he starts getting super aggressive right away. Because before that, like he was clearly like already like hyper male, let's call him.
Semper Fi.
Or maybe he's just like really into this whole Semper Fi nonsense, right? I actually finally looked up what Semper Fi means. Do you know what Semper Fi means?
Isn't it it's the Marines' slogan, right?
It is.
And it means, I should know this, and I can't think of it right now. What does it mean, Tracy?
It's actually short for Semper Fidelis, which means always loyal or always faithful.
Okay.
So it really just means they follow instructions. That's pretty much.
So which I guess is why he killed the kid, because he didn't follow instructions.
Yeah. But he also is killing everybody and is like, no, we're gonna take this information back no matter what, because those are the instructions that he was given. So that might be part of it as well. But yeah, he really does fucking lose it at the end. And
are we sure the movie, like, do they establish it's the blood on his hands?
Not as far as I know.
Okay, yeah. It just seemed like he turned like a dick for no reason.
Yeah, I have no idea. But by the time that happens, it's still so early in the movie that you don't really know too well his character because not that much has happened as yet. And you're just like, oh, you're just a big asshole by the end of the movie. And then he dies and gets worse because he gets like this stuff in him, right?
You know nothing about any of the characters. Every character has one little trait, and that's it. Like the guy, Goat, I think his name is, likes God and cuts into himself when he takes the Lord's name in vain. There's the pervert. There's the kid. There's the Japanese guy named Mac.
Yeah.
Which I actually I thought a Predator because there's a Mac in Predator.
Okay.
Karl. Oh, what's his name? Karl Weathers is named Mac, I think.
Oh, is it?
And there's scenes like someone in Predator's named Mac, and there's scenes with Arnold Schwarzenegger yelling Mac.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyways, I don't know if they're just ripping it off or.
They're definitely ripping it off.
Homages that are.
Oh, for sure. And I'm actually surprised. Like, I know this from 15 years ago, but The Rock looks so small
and young.
Yeah, like. I don't know. Maybe it's all them weights he's lifting or whatever. But
or is it steroids? I don't know. He looks like, I know he's even a big man in this movie, but like when you see him now in like when we saw Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh my God, he's
the size of a building.
Yeah,
he's massive.
It's crazy. Yeah. But I guess it's like a level of, because like, I mean, even if you look at like the X-Men, look at the first X-Men movie and look at like Days of Future Past or something, and like what Wolverine looks like. It's crazy the difference in that man's body. Like it's nuts. He did get really jacked. That's true. Yeah, or even if you look at like Captain America,
Yeah.
Even the first movie, like he's built and everything, but even from that movie to the last movie, that man is huge. Like it's
the crazy example I can think of right now is Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh my
the Marvel
god!
movies.
Yes.
He went from like slubby nerd to.
Oh yeah, seriously, like he is.
Is this Photoshop? No, it's real.
No, because he's gonna be in a superhero movie, so it's part of their contracts how jacked that they have to be. So
what sucks for him now is they're probably not filming anything, so he's got to stay jacked and not enjoy life. Yeah, no fun for you, buddy.
But apparently, what's his face? Oh my god, I'm gonna forget his name. It's fine if I forget his name. I don't mind him that much. You don't know who I'm talking about yet. Hold on.
Context.
The guy who's gonna play Batman.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. So apparently, it's part of his contract to, of course, get jacked up for the role, and he was doing all of that. And since quarantine's happened, apparently he's laxed on his workout and his regimen and like eating habits, all that kind of stuff. And the studio is mad about it. And he's like, we're not fucking doing anything. I'm not doing this for no reason, you know.
Give me a month's notice. I'll get back.
I'll get back into shape, right? Yeah. So, and when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Good on you, because I wouldn't want to fucking do that during quarantine. That's gonna suck.
I actually kind of like him. I keep seeing him in these indie movies. Same with Kristen Stewart, and I'm like, okay, you guys are actually decent actors, I think. Like
Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, she keeps popping because she has, I guess, Twilight money or just doesn't give a fuck, and she shows up in these little indie movies that I see from time to time, and I'm like, okay, you're not bad. Like maybe not as much her. It's more him. He's in a movie called Good Time, and he's really, really good in it.
What one's Good Time?
It's the same director who did the Adam Sandler Jewel.
Uncut Gems?
Yes, same director. So it's the same kind of movie. It's like it's high tension. He's trying to help out his brother with a mobster, I think. And it's just high tension. You're like heart's beating the whole time, and he's really good in it.
Yeah, I saw there's a James Dean movie that he did that he was just excellent in.
But like I think these Batman movies were the first time he's doing a big blockbuster again, right?
I think so.
If he's only done indie, it's like same with Kristen Stewart, I think.
I don't know.
She's in Charlie's Angels, but
Kristen Stewart, no, I've seen her in quite a few things, and I'm good. Like,
fine. I'll defend him though. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll defend him too. I don't mind it. I don't mind if you defend him. He's fine.
Yeah, and I think he could be a very good Bruce Wayne. Batman, I don't know.
You think so? I don't know. I don't know.
We all thought no one gave Heath Ledger a chance.
I never complained about Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
I never did.
I don't think I did, but maybe I did. I don't remember. But I know a lot of people did at the time.
Oh God, I gotta find this movie. Hold on.
The James Dean movie?
Yeah, it was a really good movie, and I was it's called Life. Okay, it is called Life.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Well, because you know how there's that famous photo of James Dean on Life magazine where he's like in the rain, there's like a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and he's got this long jacket on. So it's the story about how that picture was taken and how it ended up in Life magazine.
Oh, please don't tell me it's a movie about the reporter or the cameraman.
Yeah, it's about the reporter.
Oh, I'm so sick of those movies. Like the Mr. Rogers movie. It's about the reporter. And so many of these movies about famous people, it's always about the reporter trying to get an interview with them. It's like a trope now.
Yeah.
And I get so sick of it.
I don't
Mr. Rogers examples because he's the one. Because Mr. Rogers is so perfect, you can't really make a movie. But he didn't do anything bad. And he's boring. So they're like, all right, we'll make it about this reporter who's got problems, and Mr. Rogers will show him the way.
Yeah, or like, well,
I guess I understand why they have to do it. But.
Well, the case with James Dean is that he was dead within months of this picture being taken.
Yeah.
Like he died in that car accident and everything, and there's not that much known about him. Like, because
he only made 3 movies, right?
He made only 3 movies. He was just becoming famous. Mm-hmm. Nobody really knew him outside of this picture and a couple of other things. And so I understand why they did it from this perspective. Like I get it. And it's just really good. I mean, and the actors that they chose for it is really good. Like Robert Pattinson, he plays the reporter.
Yeah.
So you get more of him. Whereas
who's James Dean?
James Dean is played by Dane.
I just assumed he was James Dean.
Dane DeHaan.
Who's that? Where do I know him from? I can look him up, I guess.
Did you see Valerian?
Yes. Oh, God.
He's the dude in Valerian. He does a really good job as James Dean.
Okay. Valerian left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, no, Valerian it's a bad movie.
It's
a bad movie. I did not see it in theaters. I sat at home and watched it because my brother talked me into watching it.
Oy.
And I sat there and I watched it and I was just like, what is this shit? Like, like I was so angry.
Yeah, I know.
It seemed like it was such a waste of time and money and effort. Like I was just like, I don't know what you're doing. And they had a lot of like Dane DeHaan is actually a really good actor. Like he was
good in We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Oh,
that was him, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. No. Oh, God, it's the guy who plays the Flash. Is Kevin?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I was talking about Life. We were talking about.
Oh yeah, we're talking about James Dean.
James Dean.
Yeah.
And you were complaining about you don't like From the Reporter's View movies.
Yes, because there's so many of them.
Is there really that many? I don't even think there's that many of them.
There's a lot of indie movies that do that. I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating, but yeah, I've just seen. I'm watching a movie about someone famous or someone sort of well known, and then it's from the reporter's point of view, or it's an author trying to write a book about the person, or you know, it's like. Hey.
Well, I think when you're making a pseudo biographical movie, it's easier to make a movie that way because you don't know what these people did behind closed doors, right? Because, like, for example, the Bohemian Rhapsody is just about Freddie Mercury, but there's so many problems with this movie because you're just like, was he like that behind closed doors? You don't know. All of these, they tried to put in all of these very important time periods together, so there's less time jumps for some reason, and it just didn't work, and it was really bad. But then the one about Elton John really worked, Rocket Man, because Elton John was part of it. He got to choose what behind the scenes stuffs were put in there and how to structure the movie, right? And especially with something like James Dean or Mr. Rogers, people that you can't talk to anymore. You can't really put that kind of thing together.
Well, it's funny you bring up biopics, because especially music ones, I'm so sick of them too, because they're all the exact same. Every single one. I'll give the Elton John one a little bit of credit. I liked it a lot more because it's more of a musical, which I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I love musicals, and they use a song in a different part of his life and just to emphasize something.
But it was used more than just an emphasis. So it was used to transition as transition points and all that kind of stuff, right? And it also helped to emphasize like where the song came from. Like the actual song Rocket Man, the thing is people use it as like a I'm going away, or like as like a pumping up song, whereas you find out, I'm like, no, he was a guy who was depressed, he was on drugs all the time, but he had to be fired up, and that is represented in the transition sequence and how it's used in the movie, and you understand how that song was written, whereas in like I'm using these two as references because they're the most recent biopics I've seen.
There's so many you could go through. Walk the Line.
Walk the Line was a good one as well.
I recently watched the Motley Crue one on Netflix. I
would never watch that one.
But it was just a straight by the numbers music biopic. And like it was fun, but it was okay, I guess. I didn't realize Vince Neil, whatever his name is, killed people.
What the fuck? I don't even know who Vince Neil is.
Oh, he's the lead singer. He was drunk and he killed someone in his car and ruined some people's lives that he hit. Like, I was like, oh God, anyways.
What were we talking about? Doom?
I think it was called Doom we were talking about.
So hold on. So one thing I do have to say, so I have the DVD, obviously, and this DVD had trailers, unlike the Donnie Darko one. And I like the fact that this had direct connections to Donnie Darko.
Oh, how so?
So the first trailer was Jarhead, which starred Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. I love Jarhead.
Such a great movie. I remember people getting so pissed off at the end of the movie because they're like, it's boring. He doesn't kill anybody. What are you talking about? I'm like,
it's not that kind of movie.
But that's the whole point of the movie. Is the point is this man spent like formative years of his life shooting a gun, right? Training for this one shot, and then he didn't get to pull that trigger. Yeah. And then you wonder why when he went home, he was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I have no skills except how to pull a trigger. And I'm sorry, coming back home, shooting people in the face is, from far distances is not really a job skill that reputable individuals have.
Yeah. It's a really funny movie. I didn't say this during Donnie Darko. Jake Gyllenhaal is probably my top 5 male actors.
He is such a good actor.
Especially after Nightcrawler, I was like,
which
Jesus,
I still haven't seen. I'm really mad about it.
So good. It is it's very dark. So being a place like not, don't be in a dark place when you watch it. You can't be, yeah. I know. I'm not saying be happy and then go into it, but just going in. It's not a happy movie.
Well, I think that's actually one of the reasons why I haven't watched it is because I know that. And
there's such a good creep in it.
And I'm like, I'm in too good of a mood to ruin my mood, or I'm not a good mood. I don't want to be in a worse mood. So it's like finding that in between spot, and I'm just like, I haven't been there yet.
But I used to be in a good mood for a weird movie, and I want to be in a sad mood for a happy movie, kind of like. Yeah,
to make you feel better or to keep you from getting too depressed,
Yeah, I used to put on Amelie all the time when I was depressed, like back in the day. I was like, I want to watch Amelie today.
No, I watch animated movies for that. I watch my 2 go-to when I'm really, really sad is Aladdin and SpongeBob SquarePants. Just letting you know. Just letting you know, right there.
Awesome.
I love them.
Sorry, so what was the other trailer? What was the other connection?
Was Battlestar Galactica. The movie. Yeah.
Sure.
There was a trailer for something called First Descent, the story of the snowboarding revolution.
Well, I know it very well.
which is one of those like classic snowboarding movies where people get on top of a mountain and they're doing cool tricks, right? Like,
I love the scene where they do the half pipe spin over Mount Everest and then down K2, and it's really awesome.
Oh, so you have seen it? Gotcha. Okay.
Mount Everest. I know so much about the industry, snowboarding.
And the other movie, which is a movie that has been on my list forever, but again, A, it's either hard to find, or B, I'm not in the mood to watch it, is the movie Brick, that has Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it.
Is it him trying to find his girlfriend?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's been on my list for years. I have a feeling that if I watch it now, I'll probably be like, what was the big deal? But if I watch it when it first came out, I've been like, this movie's amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm at that. It's still on my list of movies to watch, but I still haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I can't recommend Nightcrawler more. Whatever it does 3 or 4 years ago, I think it's my favorite movie that year.
Really?
It's up there. Like, it's so good.
I really loved him in what is it? Enemy and what's the one where like the kids disappear in the neighborhood? Prisoners. That movie is so good. Also, don't be sad when you watch that movie. It's very heavy and very draining.
I love that director.
Amazing.
I can't wait for Dune. I think if anyone can do Dune right, it's him.
Yeah.
What's his name? Deneuve. No, not Deneuve.
No, it's Villeneuve, isn't it?
Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve? Denis Villeneuve? I'm butchering I know. I'm sorry, French listeners. I like every single one of his movies.
You were right though. It's
Denis.
It's Dennis. I'm saying it all in the.
It's not Ray Fiennes. It's not Ralph Fiennes. It's Ray Fiennes.
Yeah. But like I think it's been cast really well. I just hope it's less disjointed than the movie from the 80s.
Yeah,
that's all I'm asking for.
The books are insane. I don't know how you make that movie out of them. I haven't read them since I was a kid, but teenager. But I don't know. I just trust him. Everything he's done, I even like Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, I love Blade Runner 2049.
I don't understand the hate for it.
Excellent.
That's what
Well, the thing is he did one thing that a lot of movie remakes and movie continuations, especially things that are long past, don't do. He actually took into consideration the content that came before it, right? Because even Star Wars has this problem, because not nothing, but a lot of the problem with a lot of the new Star Wars movies is they're too bright, they're too shiny, and the vehicles and ships and stuff like that don't look like they belong in that world, right?
Okay. Really?
It's not as...
Well, I agree with you on that one.
The new ones aren't as bad, but especially the prequels were really, really bad at that.
For the prequels, which I don't like, I will give him credit. He was trying to do something different, I think.
Yeah, but at this point, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in a world that is built the way Star Wars has been built.
Yeah.
Right? You're allowed to do something different, but you cannot ignore the content that came before it.
The newer ones to me feel like Star Wars, but I just don't. For most of them, I don't like the story, and it doesn't make. It's just. I love Rogue One. I do actually like The Last Jedi. That's my favorite of the new ones. Really? I know it's probably your least favorite.
Okay.
I like that one a lot. And I love Rogue One. And Solo was okay. I rewatched it recently. I was like, this is not a bad movie.
Yeah, I actually rewatched Solo relatively.
There's some really good stuff in it. There's some stuff that doesn't work, but overall, I think it's a pretty good movie. But then the Force Awakens, I like up until the last hour, and then, Jesus, the last one is. I've seen it 3 times. I do not like it.
Yeah, it's a bad movie.
It's a mess.
They do what a lot of sci-fi does, which is we've got a really good idea and we don't know how to end it, so here's some stuff. Yeah. And you're just like, you did nothing. Like, this isn't working for anybody. And
why does Rey fall in love with Kylo Ren? He is a mass murderer on a scale not even known in our. Yeah, but
I'm not even mad about that one.
That's just one thing I hate about it. So many.
That's the thing. There's no need to wedge in a love story, and a lot of people think you need to have a love story for something to work. And you're like,
there's a female character. Yeah, got to be a love story.
Yeah. I actually have a feeling that's one of the reasons why you like Rogue One, where the 2 main people who end up together at the end, it's not a love story. Yeah, but it's also, they end up in each other's arms at the end when they're about to die. But it's not because they love each other in that romantic love way. It's they're friends and they've gone through an experience together and they're happy that each other is there to help them. It's not like I'm so sad I can't have sex with you. That's not
Tracy, if the Empire is about to blow us up, I'm gonna hug you. I'm sorry. It's happening. It's happening. You're getting a hug.
I will accept that hug.
I'm sorry if that's the last thing you have to feel. But
I'll be like, ew, no, boom. You're like,
what have I done?
Oh my God, yeah. But like I was saying, I just think nothing in that movie looks like it doesn't belong in that movie, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look like it doesn't belong in that world.
I agree. The people who hate it would probably disagree. They no, this is wrong, that's wrong.
I don't understand why they would think that.
I don't either. I love that. That movie that year that's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, it's an excellent movie. Yeah, but I do understand why some feminists complain about it, because that movie is actually about that poor girl that's in that room where they make the movie all about the man. That was one of the big problems about it. A lot of feminists had a problem with that. You're like, all right.
Well, also, Ana de Armas, she's kind of like a magic pixie dream girl too, in a way, if you think about it.
Are you talking about the robot girl, the hologram girl?
Yeah.
But that's what she's supposed to be. That's why he buys her. That's the whole point.
I got really upset when her chip got crushed. I was like, no.
Yeah,
I've always really liked her since then.
They made her a character, and it's like in the movie Her, where you never actually meet this character, this AI.
Yeah.
And it's called her because she doesn't have a name. She's just an AI.
Well, it could be a guy too. Like if it's a woman's on the phone. Say if it wasn't Joaquin Phoenix, it'd be a man, or it could be a man and be the same AI, same voice.
Well, what they
said, the same program.
Well, what they said within the movie was the AI was based on a series of questions that was given to the person, and a personality was selected, and a voice was selected based on what their things were. And in it, he's like, he's a man who wants a woman to talk to him, and these are things he likes, and then the personality was built on that. And it's a learning personality, right? So it changed and whatever to fit what he wanted, or what he is a perfect companion for him. Like, that's the whole point of this AI system. And so that's one of the reasons why I made it realistic that he would fall in love with the AI system, and why the society had a sort of like break, because everybody was falling in love with these systems, and people who did and people who didn't really care. Like it was fine. It was just like another type of love or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just worked really well. But what was my point? I don't know where I was going.
Well, actually, I'll take back what I said. Yeah, Anna de Armas is not a magical pixie dream girl, because she's programmed to be a companion
to him. Yeah,
that's
what I was getting at.
And he's a what do you call it? A replicant.
Yeah.
So he's also a robot, like a computer program, essentially.
Yeah, but no. So, but
I take that back.
She is like Scarlett Johansson in Her, where it is a character that is built to serve his needs, and built in a way for him to have somebody to fall in love with, or in a so it's not a surprise, that happens. It's there. I mean, but I think the whole point of the movie is it was to show that replicants are a life form, right? They're genetically created. Yes, they're initially programmed, but they're genetic. They're organic beings.
You see that especially in the first Blade Runner with what's his name? He died recently. Can Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yes.
Which is a bad example, but
yeah.
Rutger
Hauer.
Rutger Hauer, thank you. Yes. Just like his line where I've seen I'm gonna butcher it, but
apparently that was ad-libbed by him. Like,
was it? Oh yeah, I heard that recently.
Yeah.
I love that you know what I'm going to say. The rings of Uranus from a spaceship. I can't remember exactly what he says, but such a beautiful line.
It is, and it's.
I should write things down more often.
But the whole point of that movie was they were trying to find a way to live, because they knew how long they had, like 3 years to live or whatever it was, and he's like, I just don't want to die. Why isn't anybody helping me live?
Yeah.
And whereas the second movie was the fact that, oh my God, they can give birth to something. That means they're a living being. And now we have to start treating them like people, essentially. And nobody wanted to do that. So,
It's so funny we're talking about Blade Runner instead of Doom, because it's so hard to talk about a movie that's just dumb. There's no substance to it.
There really is no substance to it. And that's really like the sad part. About, like, I know it's just a video game movie, but you can have a video game movie with substance. It's possible.
Ooh, wait, what's a good example? Like, the Resident Evil movies are okay. I enjoy them.
No, the Resident Evil movies are so bad.
What's a good video game movie?
I'm trying to think. Give me a second.
I recommend Rain 2. There must be one.
The first Mortal Kombat. I know it's cheese, but it's great. It's got one of the best songs ever. But
one of the best soundtracks, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God.
I saw that 2 or 3 times in theaters in high school. It was awesome.
Yeah, there's Wing Commander, but that's really bad too.
Oh God, you're not picking good ones. There has to be. I don't want to Google best video game movie because that seems like cheating. We should be able to know this.
There's also Max Payne was horrible.
Yeah, one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Worst movies.
I love rating movies on IMDb, and I rarely give it 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare because I always find something I like in it. But I gave Max Payne a 1. I hate that movie.
It deserves a 1. That's for sure.
I got, I don't know if I told this on the podcast before, but I got, actually at Scotia Theater, I got special tickets to see like the first showing. It was a Thursday night at like 10 or 9 and I was so excited. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be fun. I like the game. And I left like, this movie is so bad.
Yeah. That's the worst. When you get free tickets to see something and you're still pissed off about watching it, you're just like, no, you should pay me for my time. Like, this is not acceptable. You know?
Like, I even got free popcorn and I was upset.
Yeah. You're like, shit. How bad does your movie have to be exactly?
Yeah, that's one of the worst movie theater experiences I've ever had. Even when I watch a bad movie in theaters, I'll be like, okay, I'll think about it later, and maybe I'll like parts of it. And it's fine, but Max Payne was torture.
Yeah. No, that was I paid to watch that movie, and I'm still mad about it.
Did you look up good video game movies?
I did not. Should I? I should.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'll just give you the top 5. One sec. Best video game movies.
Ooh, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Actually, that was pretty good.
You know what? I did kind of like it, actually, too. One sec. I'm going by Rotten Tomatoes rating. Is
this Rotten Tomatoes? I'm on apparently
43. I'm going to go to the top 5. Angry Birds movie. What?
What?
That is 73% of Rotten Tomatoes?
Excuse me?
What? Rampage.
Oh, my God, Rampage.
I love Rampage. This is a bad list, but Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, I think is a really, really good movie.
Really?
I didn't play the game. I
also did not play the game, and when I saw that movie, I was like, I don't understand what this has to do with the game.
I don't either, and that's why I think I like it. I thought it was I love post-apocalyptic stuff, and I really thought it was a cool what they did. Especially that scene with the shields coming down over the city. It was New York or whatever city they were protecting. And then the spirits are coming in. I thought it was like 20 minutes of such goodness in that.
Okay, so I know you're upset about this list, but actually look at the Rotten Tomatoes ratings. The highest rating, that number 1, is 72%. It's the Angry Birds movie.
Yeah.
Pokemon is 68. Sonic, I didn't see the Sonic the Hedgehog.
I haven't seen Sonic either. It came on Prime recently, so I'm going to watch that.
Tomb Raider is fucking that movie's bad. I don't know why people like it.
I actually like that movie.
I did enjoy
not the Angelina Jolie movie, the one with
Vikander, Alicia Vikander.
I thought some of the traps and some of the stuff they had to get through it when they get to the temple were kind of cool.
Well, yeah, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wait, you already mentioned that, didn't I? Oh God.
No, not yet.
Oh yeah, the Silent Hill movie.
Which I like the first one.
The first one made me uncomfortable.
No, I have a bias because I really like those games.
Also, the Warcraft movie was not that bad. Why is it only?
Yeah, I really like the Warcraft movie because it was the first time I saw fantasy from like the orcs' point of view.
Yeah, actually,
you never see it. The orcs.
I'm sorry. I have to stop you.
Which one?
Super Mario Brothers. Come on. That is art.
John Leguizamo?
Sorry. I can't.
And I can't remember his name. The guy from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So they have a pretty bad track record.
But Doom is at 25, number 25 on this list.
Wow.
It's only at 19%, and it still made the list. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I will give Doom this, like, not just the practical monsters in the beginning. I thought the fight between The Rock and Karl Urban at the end was kind of not that bad. Like,
it was a decent fight for sure. Actually,
they didn't talk; they just grunt.
Yeah, well, because they're animals, right?
Yeah.
Actually, the fight I really enjoyed was the guy named Destroyer. Yeah. The one who gets like thrown into the holding cell and then he fights it, and like he's actually like smart in his fighting technique. You know, he's like standing there, he's like, "It's in here with me, I can't see it." Oh yeah, the wall's electrocuted. You know, do this, get it lit up, and then he like actually figures out a strategy. It fails in the end, unfortunately, because the monster's too strong.
Yeah,
but he's like the most capable of everybody in the whole movie, I find.
Yeah, that monster is huge, and
he fought him pretty much hand to hand, you know, off the cuff,
Yeah.
And like was almost out of there. And the reason why he died is that because he was almost out of this huge thing. He was too high, fell, and he died.
A couple pulls on the chain away from getting out.
Right.
He did screw up I noticed one thing though. He was bashing the monster with a big pipe, which I don't know how he could hold this thing. And then he threw it away for something else. I'm like, no, just keep bashing it. Like, I hate in horror movies when they have the killer on the ground.
Yeah. And they stop and talk, and they're like...
they run away. Shoot him in the head, bash his head in, just stomp his head until it's mush. They can't get back up.
Yeah, but
unless it's Jason Voorhees, because he can't kill him.
You have to realize, though, normal people don't want to see somebody die. And I think that's the key.
But if they just kill all your friends, make their head mush.
Yeah, or even like, he's out on the ground, he's down, tie him up or something. Like, actually, like, make sure he can't come after you again. He's they're limp bodies. Like, do something.
But when you're doing that, when they're tying him up, he'll come back to life and, kill another one of your friends.
Yeah.
That
friend just has to go.
This will be used in my trial one day. If someone's trying to kill my friends and family, I'm going to make their head mush just so they can't get back up.
Or like, FYI, he killed like 6 people. I was defending myself.
The whole Archer family was destroyed by me. He was killed by me, and that's why his head is jelly.
Yeah, you're like, you destroyed him. You're like, yeah, I did. Duh.
Okay.
I've seen all those horror movies. I see how people. I was not playing. Okay,
sir. He just knocked on your door. I'm like, oh.
What did I do?
Yeah. Horror movies do ruin people.
They really do. I mean, like, I just have the worst thoughts sometimes. Like, I'm walking home, or like I walk into my empty apartment. I'm like, I'm gonna step forward and somebody's gonna stab me in my eye, right? Gotcha.
Whoa,
okay, cool.
I don't do that. Oh, I'm a guy.
You are a guy. You also live with somebody, so you're expecting them to be home.
Oh, but when I'm playing video games or watching a movie, not paying attention, and she walks and touches me, and I'm not expecting it, it scares the shit out of me. He's like, and she always say, but I live with you. You should know I'm here. Like, I know, but even just working, if she opens the door behind me and I don't hear it,
yeah,
I'm into my work and she touches my shoulder, and she knows it scares me, so she'll do it too.
Yeah, at that point in time, it's just fun.
Yeah, her sister's the worst. She loves to scare me. So if I have headphones on, oh god.
And you know what started all of that? Playing games like Doom. Boom. Yep. There you go. Brought it back. Yeah. I really don't have that much to say about this movie.
I did find the ending really funny because he kills the Rock and then all of a sudden there's a shot on the elevator going up somewhere and he's holding Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
And the movie ends.
Well, yeah. It's the end of the movie. They're back on Earth. It's
one of the worst endings I've ever seen.
Yeah, but the lockdown's over, and he saved the beauty, even though it's his sister, and blah, they're gone. I really think there was supposed to be another movie, but because this movie did so badly and it was such garbage, they just didn't make another one.
Well, because this movie was kind of made for someone like me, and I did not. I saw it in theaters, and my word of mouth was not good.
Yeah, no, I must admit, I watched this movie for the first-person shooter sequence, and watching it this time did not bring as much joy as it previously did. But I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what is this garbage? It's glorious.
Yeah.
And I watched it this time, I'm like, oh, this is garbage. That's cool.
Have you seen the first-person shooter movie? It's the guy from District 9.
Hardcore Henry?
Yes, Hardcore Henry.
Yeah, I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
I saw it in theaters. It was actually a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. That's how you do it well.
Yeah, it was just a ridiculous action movie.
It goes nuts, and it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
He's like Wei-Yun, man. He just keeps popping back up. I'm a clone. Whatever.
Yeah, so great.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't seen Doom since it came out, so this is 2005, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. I did enjoy watching this.
Yeah, I haven't watched it maybe about 5 or 6 years.
It's way too long. Oh, no, really?
Probably a little bit more than that, actually.
Did you buy it 5 or 6 years ago?
I don't know when I bought this. I do not have an anecdote for the buying of this movie. I have an anecdote for this director's cut of my Donnie Darko. I used to have a regular cut of Donnie Darko. I lent it to someone. Then I never got it back, couldn't find it. And then I saw this on sale and I bought it somewhere. It was like $10. And I was like, boom, I got Donnie Darko again. That's my anecdote for this DVD. Anyways, any last thoughts on Doom?
What else do I have in my notes? I already said my dumb bad line. No, I think I'm good. It's hard to talk about. Like, I love bad movies, but sometimes it's hard to talk about. Like,
they're so bad you can't do anything about it. Yeah. It's
easier to talk about Blade Runner and how great that is than talking about a shitty movie. Yeah.
One of my notes here is I would not want to have to go in this situation. The bathroom is such a vulnerable place. That's one of my notes. This is how much I was thinking about this.
Yeah, so they're highly trained Marines, and this guy's gonna take a dump in the middle of like when there's monsters all around.
Well, no, that was the joke. He just wanted to get away from that guy so he can send a message and call for help.
He actually sat on the toilet, and didn't he do some business?
No, he didn't. He never pulled down his pants. He just sat down, and for some reason he put down his gun. But I'm like, my thing is, if you're just going to the bathroom, you're there by yourself. Why did he go into the stall? And B, why did you put down your gun?
Yeah.
Now, those were my two first questions. I'm like, you're not actually taking a dump. I know this, and you know this. What are you doing? Yeah. So whatever.
Also, why are only 10 Marines or whatever? Let's call them Space Marines because this is an alien ripoff. Why are only 10 Space Marines being sent?
Because this is an elite squad that is prepared for this specific thing, and blah blah blah. I don't.
They can send all these people, as many people as they want, across to Mars. Just send a whole battalion, just in case.
Well, that's the same thing that happened in Alien. You have a whole planet of 200 and something people, and all of a sudden, all contact is lost. Everything, you're just like, oh my God, what's going on? It's 17 days for them to get help if something goes wrong. Why wouldn't you just send 2 units or 3 units right away instead of sending 1 unit?
To defend aliens, it's just the communications go down. It could be something random. They don't know. Paul Reiser and the company aren't telling them that, this is LV 426. Yes, got it.
Yeah, is that what it is?
They're not telling them it's an alien planet.
Yeah. No, they know it's an alien planet. Well,
he knows, yeah. And they send 20 to 30 men. There's a lot of Marines.
It's not that many.
Maybe it's not that many. That's probably too much. It's definitely more than 10.
No, I think it's around 10.
All right. I'll say 15. Because like when the redheaded guy is watching all the heart monitors, there's so many, and they start going, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Me and my friends used to do a thing where how many Space Marines could you name? And I used to be on the mall so long ago. I can't remember now. How many are there?
Oh my God. How many people go to Aliens? It says, what's Area 51? It's fine. Hold on. You know what? Let me just look up Aliens and I can count.
You know what? Just look up the actor total and then minus, I don't know, Newt and Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, okay. So there's Hicks, there's Burke, there's Bishop, there's Hudson, there's Gorman, there's Vasquez, there's Apone, Drake, Frost.
Frost, okay, I don't remember him.
Who's Pharaoh?
Remember, a ton of them died right off the bat, like when the aliens.
And Spunkmeyer.
That's it? No.
And Crow. So there
has to be more than that. Because like when they're in the infirmary, there's still like 8 of them left. There's 6 to 8.
That's it. There's 12 of them.
12? That's it? Okay. All right.
I'm just reading it off of IMDb. I'm just literally reading the list. Well, no, Burke doesn't count. I counted Burke.
No, Burke, you're right. Burke doesn't count.
Wait, Burke and Bishop don't count. Bishop counts? Does Bishop count?
No, you're right. He's not a Space Marine.
Okay, so we're back down
10?
We're back down to 10.
So I was very, very wrong.
I was right.
I think this should all be cut, Tracy. This should not be out to the public. What did I say? 20 to 30? Ooh.
Yeah. Sure. I was like the cast. I know a lot of them die right away, but that is not right. Because who dies first? It's like
Capone. He doesn't die. Frost.
Yeah, I know. Apone dies, Drake dies, Frost dies, and
no, Drake is the guy who gets acid shot on him, right? That's the one Vasquez likes, isn't it? Or am I mixing up my Space Marines?
No, it is that guy. But remember.
Yeah, he's injured for a while.
He gets acid on his face.
Yeah, shotgun to the door.
Yeah, but he gets pulled back out. He dies almost right away.
Oh, does he? Okay.
He makes it back to the vehicle, but he doesn't survive in the vehile. The guy you're talking about that gets the stuff wrapped up on his head is what's
Gorman. It's not Gorman.
It's
right.
Gorman.
I'm mixing up redheads. Redhead racism.
So yeah.
Aliens. A movie you can actually see.
Yes. It's dark and oppressive on a different planet. There is also a random sequence where they're in waist deep water in there. That is true. So,
Well, that's a colony of 200-300 colonists, so maybe there's a
200, yeah.
It's probably just whatever they could get for the set.
Maybe. I don't know. But all that water makes no sense to
Doom
me.
looks like they're in a warehouse they put up these crappy corridors and like to be fair, most low budget sci-fi does.
Yeah, but
this movie had somewhat of a budget. Yeah, you can actually see.
With this movie,
especially Canadian sci-fi. Like if you look at a Canadian sci-fi spaceship show,
you see everything.
But I mean, it just looks like it's the warehouse where they.
That's very true. Actually,
those pipes are just regular pipes for who knows what.
I don't know, man. They shoot Discovery here. I mean, it's shitty Star Trek, but
that's not
still
low budget,
looks good.
But they throw a lot of money at that.
They do. They really do.
Yeah. Oh shit! Before we go, we didn't do So, Karl Urban is Bones McCoy in the movies.
Yes.
In the new Star Trek movies, and we already talked about The Rock.
Well, we weren't recording, so yes.
Or
were we?
I think we were
recording. I don't know. Yeah. So The Rock
Space Wrestler fights 7 and 9.
Yes. Well, it was like Space UFC.
That's right. It was.
Yeah. What did they call it? Dungatsu or something? I don't know.
I can't remember. It's been so long. I'll get to it soon. We're almost on season 2, so I'll get there.
Hold on.
Did you catch any others?
Let me. I always just need a list of their names, and I'm like, blah. Hold on. Yeah,
I didn't. I recognize the goat. He was from Game of Thrones, and he's in Rogue One. That's where I recognize him from.
Who?
The religious one.
Really?
Yeah, he was I can't remember if he was in Game of Thrones, but in Rogue One, he was one of the generals. One of the rebellion generals.
Ben Daniels.
Yeah, that's it.
He was General Merrick in Rogue One.
Yeah, Merrick.
Also in House of Cards.
Oh, I watched I didn't watch season 4 and 5. I think once the Kevin Spacey thing happened, I was like, I'm good.
And he was also in the Exorcist TV show.
Yeah, never watched it. But he's popped up in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I recognized anybody else from.
Yeah, me either.
Star Trek.
Oh, that's okay. We got too big. We had Bones McCoy.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just want to see the episode. Who's the champ? Yeah, it was Sun Katsi.
Yeah, of course.
And his name on the episode was just the champion. So that's fine.
I didn't watch a lot of late season Voyager. I will get to it, but I do remember that episode.
I guess 7 of 9 was just in the second half of the series, right?
Yeah. Once Cass kind of disappears, and I still have Cass when I'm watching.
I don't know. I find Cass really annoying.
I don't. I just watched the episode where Tom Paris and Neelix are fighting over her. Kind of.
That's a very early episode.
Yeah, season 2, and then they're down on the planet and they find like a reptilian baby, and then they bond over the baby, the hatchling.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually enjoyed it.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I wonder if the creepy dude was in an episode of Star Trek. I don't think so.
No, I didn't. I mean, who knows? It should be Star Trek Corner should be no cheating.
I know. We got 2 of them. That's right. Off the top of our tail, we got 2 of them.
And we got one of the biggest ones, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, is he though? I mean, he's just in the Star Trek movies.
I know, but he's really good as the Doc.
He really is. Yeah. Somebody was just like, when they first saw, was it Shatner? Or was it like Nimoy or something, before he died?
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, when they saw Karl Urban on screen as Bones, they're like, oh my God, he is so much like DeForest Kelly. Like, it was crazy for them.
I think he's the only one who kind of reminds me of the character, but he's not doing an impression. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, because even like Zachary Quinto, he does a really good Spock, but it's but it's like he is doing Nimoy as Spock. He's not himself as Spock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
true. Yeah.
Whereas Urban's just like, I'm fucking Bones. Bones is angry all the time. Let's do this. And he just like he just takes it and runs with it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I said this enough. I love Karl Urban. I hope
Karl Urban's great.
He's not in enough things.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad there's no Judge Dredd 2.
Yeah, I was really mad his TV show got canceled as well.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen that.
It was so good.
Yeah,
Almost Human. Yeah.
Almost Human, yeah.
But he's also in like The Boys.
Yes, which I do enjoy.
I've tried to. I could not get into it. I've seen an episode and a half. Mm-hmm. It's always telling if I only get halfway through something. Like if I don't finish a movie or a whole episode of a TV show, I was definitely like, it was hard for me to watch. Like I
just enjoy superheroes being assholes. Now, you haven't seen it, but there's one guy who's faster than, he's the Flash essentially. He should kill all the humans in the show, trying to take them down.
Oh no, I get it. Yeah.
There's no reason why that he wouldn't be able to do that, and I'm just like. So I have some problems with it, but Karl Urban's having a lot of fun in it.
Yeah.
And I think the show is pretty good generally.
Well, that's why I tried to watch it. I'm like, this technically ticks all of the boxes in my I should like category. And I don't know. I've tried to watch it twice, and I'm like, I can't.
Okay.
But it's coming back for a third season, so
second.
It's also gotten renewed for a third season as well.
Oh, good.
Already. Yeah.
Yay.
So
I think it's one of Amazon Prime's best shows, or most popular.
Yeah. But he's done some great stuff. I love the stuff he does. Yeah. I liked him in Red, too, when he got the shit beat out of him. Oh, that was such a good scene.
He Born Identity, too. He's a great bad guy. Doesn't say much. He's just like a menacing... He's like almost like a Terminator in a way, just a menacing Russian assassin.
Yeah, he does such a good job at that. Yeah,
he's a really good actor.
Loved him in Chronicles of Riddick. His beautiful golden hair in Xena Warrior Princess when he plays he plays Eros or whatever. Oh,
right, it's
gorgeous.
He's Judge Dredd is one. I love that movie.
Yeah,
so good in it.
Dredd is so good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Judge Dredd has a place in my heart.
Oh, me too.
But that is a very different movie than Dredd.
Yeah.
Dredd was amazing.
Rob Schneider's in it. Like, how could it not be good?
Yeah. Mr. I am the law.
The law, I am the law. He's fighting the cannibals out in the wasteland. It's like,
there's so much in that movie to just take home with you and just enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah. Oh, okay. So we're done talking about Doom, obviously.
Yeah.
This is so bad. We've barely talked about it, but I mean, we got a lot of other fun stuff in there, so it's all set. But thank you so much for being on the episode.
Happy to be here as always.
Right. Cool. So that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. Off My Shelf will be taking a little break and returning on August 24th when we will be talking about the movies Down with Love and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Until then, you can follow on Instagram and Twitter at Off My Shelf, or you can send me an email at ohmyshelf@gmail.com. Hope you'll be here to listen.